Hello, hello, hello. I am your host for tonight, Dark King Forever, and we are back at episode 52 of Game Plaza. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Are you excited to be back?
Sort of.
Yay!
Okay, there we go. 52. We are back. New season, new breath of fresh air. 52 episodes. I'm not even going to use the usual joke that I usually make, but I'm just glad that we are here again.
You guys hear me anyways?
Hey, Connor, what's going on? Just to give some clarity, our good old buddy Chaz is supposed to host this channel, host this podcast tonight. However, he's not able to join us. He may come in a little bit later, but like I said, he handed the keys to me, so hopefully I'm not gonna let him down, and we should be able to have some fun here and have some. We got a few topics that we're going to talk about, and get that energy going. So he may make an appearance, but so we're going to introduce each other. So I'm going to start off with Shadowfox. Hey,
Hey guys, what's going on?
What's going on? Okay. And then we're going to pass it over to our Kurosaki Complex. Hey.
Hey.
Okay. And then last but certainly not least, let's give it over to Korn. How you doing?
Hey guys.
Sorry, I got a little PTSD from that one. But yes, we are back at the round table. Talking about games, trailers, hypes, disappointments, controversies, and everything in between. So from the times we've been gone to now we're coming back, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on, especially last week where we had mostly of the state of play and the Summer Game Fest, and also the Xbox showcase. I went back to 2020. Sorry about that. But yeah, we got a lot of things this week. We got like a bunch of games that we can talk about tonight. And I look forward to talking about each of the games out, like what games are we hyped for, what games we're disappointed about, different topics that we can dive into and chew into the fat. But with that being said, introducing as well. So I do have questions for each of y'all, which I do see here. The games. Anybody's been playing any new games as of late? I'll start with Shadowfox.
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
Been on my Street Fighter 6 kick for quite a long time, ever since I came back from recovering from surgery. Been trying to get out to high master rank for quite a while. That's been my main priority for the past few weeks. And, well, so far, the only new game I was playing was a game that I was reviewing last time that was before, and that was replaced.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I haven't really been playing anything that new. So,
Okay. What about you, Complex?
I haven't been playing much, but I have been continuing enjoying Arc Raiders. I feel like it's one of those games that, like, even though, like, you have all these maps, it's ever changing because of if you are with a team that or even if you're with a team that you do not know, it is like a social experiment, because then you go out among the map and you meet other people, you fight them, they say things that you may not like, they may say things that you think is hilarious, and it's just all about interaction. So that's something that I do enjoy about the game, and that's something that I'm excited about.
Okay. All right. What about you, Corn? Any new games you've been picking up and playing?
I know it's probably old to some people, but to me it's new. Being able to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the game is absolutely beautiful, and like the storyline's really good. So I'm really taking my time and like enjoying it. I'm also having to refresh myself on the mechanics of fighting. So that's been a journey, kind of getting back into the groove.
Okay. All right, so I've been playing a few games. The last game I've really been into mostly was the latest James Bond game, First Light. I had been a blast playing that game, and as of late, I don't know why none of y'all mentioned it, but I've been getting hooked on gambling with friends. And yeah, it's a fun game where you can knock your friend out and pick them up and carry them and make them force them to buy stuff for you. So I'm very happy to say I really much enjoy that game. And I'm glad that everybody's here once again, to introduce ourselves, and we're back. I'm happy, excited about that. So, like I said, we had the whole game, Summer Game Fest, the State of Play, the Nintendo Treehouse, and the I keep saying E3, Xbox showcase. But I do have to ask the larger question here. Anybody gets free to answer. Just make sure you give us some time and space so we answer. And I know I'm the biggest contender on cutting people off, so I'm going to try to do my best to let people have their time and space to answer as well. But is gaming right now in a bad place? That is the icebreaker question for tonight. Are gamers overwhelmed, burnt out, or impossible to please? Like, how do you feel about that? Like, anybody can start.
I will start. I believe that I feel like gaming will essentially never die. But I feel like the fandom will definitely kill it. I feel like the community will like slaughter a game before it just because it's an idea or it's in development. Like they will like slaughter it on Reddit, on any type of forums they get on, and some are valid, but then some just like lack common sense. So because there's always going to be one game that will, even if one game comes out a year that changes everything. Look at Expedition 33 came and changed everybody's mind about gaming, like possibilities. And so I feel like gaming, like even the indie studios to the big studios and everything in between, like you'll always get something different, something, is this quirky or is it something new? It's always almost like its own adventure when you go to play.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
They're hard to please.
Okay. You want to elaborate?
There's always something that gamers nowadays are going to find something to complain about. Whether it be what a character may look like, what a character might be wearing, certain mechanics here and there, or they just want to bring politics into these games and it really just turns me off about most of these new games that are coming out. And as much as I would like to give some of these games a chance, there is always something that is going to underwhelm me, And not just me, it's going to underwhelm a whole lot of other people. But when it comes to this year, I am going to do my very best not to be too negative about it. There are some game trailers that I have seen that actually kind of got my attention. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna try my hardest this year not to be a negative Nancy about this whole thing, and just see what goes on. See what this goes on from here.
Okay, I look forward to knowing what the games hyped you up this year. But I'm gonna pass it over to Korn. How do you feel about that? Do you think gaming is in a bad place right now?
I think not so much a bad place, but in my opinion, like more so interesting, because there's so many different types of games, and that's the beauty of it, is that there's something for everybody. And I think we've kind of fell into a hole where everyone got excited for like certain titles or certain genres of games, and kind of would pressure people into saying like this is kind of what you should like to do. But, like there's such like a beautiful big world of games and things that you can try, and I think that with the negative Nancy comments of being like, oh, you shouldn't like it. You can listen to those people, but they're just going to kill games for you. And so you shouldn't really allow people to have that kind of power over what you enjoy. So I think that we just need to get back to a space where we understand that not everyone is going to love everything in a game or every type of game. And that's the beauty of having so many different things to choose from.
Okay. I respect and appreciate that answer. I do feel like gaming in sense of is kind of in a bad place. Not to get too into it, like each of you guys said. But for me, it's like, sometimes I feel like it's too corporate now in a sense. Like everything has to have microtransactions. Everything has to be season pass. Like it's nothing. Like it's like any game that has a creative field, we're quick to like, oh no, we're gonna pass over it because we need that new. It's like they don't take chances anymore either. Like in sense of like everything's a sequel, everything's a remake, everything's a remaster. It's nothing like very rarely you get something new and creative. Like how Complex mentioned Expedition 33, that game came out It was new, it was fresh. Even though it had some of the formulas from old other games, it still was a fresh take, and it shows. People bought it. It won awards. It won Game of the Year last year. So it's in a bad place because the thing about it, I think it's creatively, how to put it, in a stranglehold. Let's just say, in my opinion. But you was gonna say something complex?
No, wasn't gonna say anything. I was muted.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see. I do have some. Okay, I do have some questions here. I'm sorry with Shadowfox. Like, do you think that people generally know what they want from the industry anymore?
What was the question again?
Do you think people generally know what they want from the industry anymore?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know how else I can elaborate about that. It's just the shorter answer for me is lately gamers nowadays, they don't know what they want.
True. Very true. All right. Complex being the streamer that you are, I can't wait to Road to Empress 2 on stream. But from a streamer's perspective, though, do you feel like audiences do enjoy games or argue around games more? Like, do you feel like?
I feel like everybody has their own expectation of a game, or people play a game and then they take what they want out of the game. So I'll play Arc Raiders because that has been a big debate. So Arc Raiders is a PvE PvP game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are times when people go in and they'll crash out on you for like shooting them. And it's just like, but like, what did you expect? Like, it's a PvP game, but people are more honing in more onto the side of a PvE game. So they're going through like quote unquote friendly lobbies, just thinking like they're gonna frolic through the map and kill Ark, which is the enemy, and get resources and stuff, and nobody's gonna be watching them from like a window or something and start shooting at them or potentially killing them and taking all their stuff. Like, it's just it's like, what are you getting out of the game? Like, because the game didn't deceive you in a way that the game lets you deceive yourself. It gives a false sense of security. So people in return start taking what they want from games. So like, people always have an opinion like, oh, if they would have done this, then it would have been better. But like, it would have been better for you. That doesn't mean it would have been better for the masses. Just because 100,000 people liked your comment, 10 million people bought the game. So it's just like, so does how you feel about the game outweighs everybody else? It's just that like, people just can't accept things for like what it is. Like, they can't take a product and just be like, okay, this is what the game is giving me. This is what I'm getting out of it. And whether I like it or enjoy it, let me not go on like a crash out and like go to the Reddit or go to like my platform and go and bash the game. Like, if I don't like it, like I didn't like it and I'll tell you why. But sometimes these people just, they don't even have reasonable excuses for why they don't like the game. It could be because it's a female in the lead.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's not a reasonable excuse because you have something else downstairs that females don't. Like, that's not a reasonable excuse. So it's just things like that. It's more of a perception of, oh, I can do something better, or I'm getting something from this game, and I think like this is what the game is, when really that's like a story being told and you're getting something from the story, but that's not what the real story is trying to tell you.
Oh no, not
if any of that makes sense.
It does. Okay, no problem. But Coin, do you feel the same way? Like, is there anything you feel about in terms of with games now? Sorry about the noise in the background.
I think one of the things with games nowadays is that because like with social media too, like everyone's kind of looking for like the clips and like the big moments, and then like it kind of becomes like a way to like spoil a game. So I think like also when you're talking about like streaming, it depends on kind of what your mode is. Like, if you want to enjoy the game like the full, most people need to enjoy it that way, or if you want to just really get to the action or like the big parts of a game. So I think there's like people on both sides of the aisle, and more people just need to learn like to find the people that like the same lane as you and continue to kind of go with them.
Okay. All right. That's it. You know what?
Good point.
Yeah. I mean, I did going back to what Complex said about the the thing with the women in gaming and certain like that. I did make I was talking to somebody about that a few days ago, but then my take on it is I don't mind in terms of like women being in like the main character in the game, because I know some people are butthurt about a certain game that we're going to talk about later. And for me, it's like it doesn't matter as long as the character is likable, or the character I can go along with the story, and it leads to a good proper ending. I'm fine with it. I don't care if the character they can be boy, girl, huge, tall, short, a cat, hey chaotix, a pet, anything. As long as the character is likable and I can enjoy the story, I'm gonna enjoy the game. You just have to have a good story behind that character. If it's just focused on one thing, what's the point? But I know it's a lot of criticism, and I know people have their own saying things. I have my own criticism too. I'm not even gonna lie. I know that I have argued with people about gaming, like, no, this game is trash. You should play this game. But I learned to not do that anymore and just to focus. Like, if you like that game, you like it. I'm not gonna hate on you. Like the people that like Last of Us Part 2, they like it. That's fine. I'm not gonna sit there and tell them otherwise. I'm not gonna sit there and tell them, no, you better not play that game. If you like it, you like it. Nothing to do with me. I know what I want and I know what I like. But with that being said, and like I said, keep mentioning, we did see that there was the game showcase was happening last week. We're going to start off with the PlayStation State of Play. And I see that PlayStation this year brought us a lot of things. So they brought us Wolverine. They brought us Control Resonate. Sorry about that. Onimusha, Silent Hill, and the game I mentioned about earlier, which is God of War. I'm going to say Laufey.
I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right either.
I know the jokes that they had on there was God of War Laundry, and that one was like, damn. But
wow, nobody said God of War Laufey.
One Piece. Hold on, let me just make sure. But was there anything that stood out to you guys during the State of Play? If I got a chance to watch it.
Well, given the countless freaking doctor's appointments that I had to go to, I only saw a few trailers, unfortunately. But if there was one trailer that I was actually really focused on, it would have to be Wolverine. And they actually did quite a bold move. I was not expecting Wolverine to freaking be slashing on female enemies, but they actually did it. I'm like, oh shoot, they actually went there. Certain people aren't going to be too happy about that, and I can hear it now. But that aside, I'm looking forward to the game. I actually am. I don't have a PS5, but I actually am looking forward to the game.
Yeah, especially with Sony not allowing PC games. I mean, Sony their first party single player games to go on PC anymore. So
what?
Yeah. But also, I'm so glad that Wolverine is now E for everyone. That means that them claws can get everyone. So
not everyone.
Yeah, everyone. Shoot, if you are an obstacle in his way, you get the claws.
Fair enough.
Damn that. But okay, so what about or Coin? What about you? Is there any games that stood out for you at the State of Play?
I would say, and this is probably going to surprise some people, but because they know I'm not a big horror fan, but the Silent Hill Town Hall, I enjoyed watching it for the State of Play. I like that it's going to be all first person. And I know that sounds odd for me, also picking a horror game, but I like that it's going to be first person. I like that the character is going to be a lead character that's going to be black, and to kind of see like his opinion and like to see how the inner workings is going to be going on in his head with the storyline. So I'm excited to see what it's going to feel like, because I know it's going to feel terrifying in general, like, but to feel it all in first person, I'm willing to try it.
Okay, Corner, is that really you?
I know. That's odd, but I
Mhm.
watched it and I was like, it actually looked really interesting. I'm gonna be scared to death, but I think I actually will try it.
I mean, you're not playing it, so
I'm
yeah.
gonna try it.
I'm shocked because I'm like, she said Silent Hill. I'm like,
I know.
what? Okay, all right. What about you, Complex? Any games that stood out to you?
God of War, that is my favorite trailer of the game. I was introduced to God of War many upon more years ago, but I actually never played those first iterations of the God of War. I actually started playing them when the remake came out. And
Mm.
I am big like Greek mythology and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
when I heard that that was a part of it and I saw more gameplay, I definitely bought it and also bought Ragnarok. And so I am interested on, I know we're going to touch base on this later, this specific game. But I do believe like this character is rooted in the story, even though like she did come in like with the iteration of,
Mhm.
at the beginning with her death in God of War, the remake or the continuation, however you want to look at it. I do believe she is someone that's rooted. So it's not like it's sorry. It's not like it's a random like person that they're just like pulling out of thin air and bringing the story around. They're bringing the story around as someone. This is the beginning of her in God of War, but she leaves behind a legacy, which is her son. Boy,
Yeah.
let me
Yeah.
stop. And so she leaves behind a
Boy.
legacy, the impact she has on Kratos
Yeah.
and the
Okay.
things we don't know about. So that's
Okay.
why I think that this is going to be something that's going to be really good storytelling wise.
Okay. Okay. For me, I would definitely have to say Onimusha, because I like it's not a trailer that just came out. We got the announcement for like the time frame is going to come out, which is on September 25th, and we also got the demo for that game, which I did play like multiple times.
Why does he
I'm
sound
gonna.
like Thor?
Oh, I stopped
Why?
at 4. Yeah, yeah. I didn't. I never. No, I never played Dawn of Dreams. So
That is not what I said.
no, what you
What I
say?
had asked was, why does the main character of the new Onimusha sounds like he was voiced by?
Oh. Good question. I'm definitely putting on Japanese on voice acting when I get that game because I'm not a fan of that because they sound British and it's like, wow, okay. I want to know more about the story. I don't know why they voiced them. You tell them, Shadowfox. Really? Freaking Nova. But yeah, I don't know. I look forward to that game. I'm gonna quote it that what Chaz mentioned. He said this game is Onimusha's Dark Souls, and I'm fine with that.
Oh boy.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I mean, listen, if it plays like Sekiro, I'm gonna play the shit out of it. Real talk. But each game that I mentioned, I'm still shocked by the Silent Hill one, but because you're not gonna play it, and I know that, but it's adorable that you mentioned that. It's wow.
Have faith. You never know. I might surprise you.
But there's other games out there that I really was that blew me away. But that's going to go to a later question. Um, I do have one more, and then before we move on, is there any games that surprised you during the Sony State of Play?
Just a Wolverine one for the time being.
Okay. What about anybody else?
It really,
Sorry.
really surprised me, man.
Anybody
Just
else?
because his claws are really
Wolverine.
key for everyone.
Wolverine also surprised me because I wasn't expecting that to be a game they were going to show, even though, they say like, oh, it's going to come out, but you know how things take dips and turns. Look at Grand Theft Auto. So
Yeah. Oh, ill. Oh, hell yeah. I'm definitely want to play ill. What about you, Coin?
For that surprised me.
That surprised you, yeah.
I guess in a way it surprised me because I liked the way that they did the trailer and kind of put it together. But for Control Resonant, I enjoyed how with the storytelling with the narrator, how he spoke about how the different the shift in the different powers and how he was able to show it during gameplay, but also like for new gamers that are like new to different genres, sometimes it can be a bit like daunting to like want to get into a genre because like a lot of people kind of know how the mechanics work and things like that. But I think that like nowadays games, they have a habit, and I've noticed some other games, but like just kind of putting up like a screen that will show you kind of how something is done but not really explain it and why it's useful in that way. So for them to kind of go into that detail and explain that, I really enjoyed hearing that because it makes it, really nice for new players of a genre and new players in general to kind of understand how the mechanics of a game will work.
Okay. So yeah, because with Control, like I still haven't finished the first original game, but I do look forward to Devil May Cry Control. Devil May Control, because that's exactly what it looks like, and that's exactly what it's playing like, and I'm not against it. I would say for me personally, there's two, actually three, because yes, they announced Carnage and Token, the fighting game, which I'm like yes, but Banjo the Chef, which is, I'm going to say it now, it's a prequel to Dave the Diver. And it's basically about this, because if you play Dave the Diver, he's the chef that, you go in there, you dive, you get the fish. He's the one that cuts it up and serves it to the people during the mini game. But you get to learn his background. And, he was like an up-and-coming chef. He went to Japan to learn the skills. And I'm like, and the animation on it looks amazing. And I was like, yeah, I as soon as I finished the trailer, I ran to Steam to wishlist the game because I'm like, yes, because I enjoy Dave the Diver, and I'm going to get the DLC that's coming out when they go into the jungle. I think it comes out in a couple of days. So yes, and then also Stuntman Hollywood, which we getting Stuntman back, and it's taking iconic movies like movies and TV shows.
They did games.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since you got a stunt right. Since PS2 days.
I forgot about that series.
Yeah, they're bringing it back.
Holy shit! How long?
Yeah, and then here's the thing. So you're doing stunts for like Fast and the Furious, Knight Rider, Back to the Future, and I'm like, yes. Another game I ran to the Steam to wish list because I want these games. I didn't really care for Until Dawn 2 because it's not made by Supermassive, so it's not going to be as good. I already can tell that's not going to be a good game. So that's my opinion, but who knows? But we're gonna So with that being said, I'm gonna ask this one last question before we move on to certain games that we saw there. Do you think that the State of Play was a strong showcase? Like out of all the games that they showed, do you think it was or was it just eh?
I'll say because I didn't see it on the way.
Okay.
I think it was meh. It was all right.
Better than Xbox. Whoa.
That's why when we get to Xbox, we'll talk about Xbox.
I don't know, but what about you? Do you feel like it was just was it good, or do you feel like it was just a wet fart?
I thought it was okay. It was all right to me.
It's all right to you? Okay. I didn't hate it. Dry fart. Yeah, dry. It's a dry fart. It stinks a little bit, but you can live without it. You don't have to worry about like, oh my god, you clean the room. I feel the same way in terms of it was just okay. Even though like they show stuff, I mean, honestly speaking, I'm gonna be real talk here. I'm not a huge fan of the reboot God of War series. I did the opposite. I played the first 3 original games and the one PSP one, and then I missed Ascension. But I played when he was like the I don't give a fuck about nothing. I'm killing everybody, Kratos. And then when the new one came out, I just got bored because I'm like, oh, this is boring to me personally. It was boring, so I never really got into it. So I didn't look forward to it. So I kind of skipped that whole part of it. And Triple H dose.
I said Thanos. Holy shit!
No, I said Triple H dose.
Triple H Kratos. I meant.
Yeah, but yeah, like that one. Yeah, I was like, okay, but I don't hate on it. And then it's like,
shit. Whoops.
Oh, the Cuphead game is on during the State of Play, which we'll get to in a minute. But we're gonna now. I mean, with that being said, we're gonna now talk about the certain games that was on there that caught our eye. First one definitely being Wolverine, and I'm glad that for the first part, the Wolverine doesn't feel like it's just Spider-Man with claws. It is more. It's more gory than Spider-Man is. Definitely, like people getting their face ripped off and you getting stabbed and then impaled and shit. So they're gonna pull that M rating, which I'm happy for, and I'm kind of mad we're not getting it on PC. I'm very pissed about that. But
man,
but for from the trailers that we have watched from it, because this is not the first trailer we have seen from it, it's maybe the second one, and this is the more in detail trailer. We saw actually gameplay. What does Wolverine need to do? I should say, from the trailers that we watched and the gameplay that we know about, what do you feel like he needs to do to stand apart from Spider-Man? Because Spider-Man, from the Spider-Man 1 specifically, when it came out, it sold gangbusters. Like it was well loved. I don't know about Miles Morales in Part 2, but I know for sure the first one so like crazy. So what do you feel like Wolverine needs to do to ensure that it can get the same numbers as a Spider-Man game? Do you feel?
I just feel like they just need to, like, what they have going on works because it's garnering excitement and interest. I just feel like they just need to make sure that they polish everything out. There's not a lot of bugs, and it's something that's innovative. I feel like Spider-Man had everything going for them, especially when Miles Morales came into the picture. It garnered a different, a more inclusive audience, and so that was also worked in their favor. But I feel like with Wolverine, everybody loves Wolverine. Like some people don't, but if the game is good, they will still play it. That's like me playing the X-Men game, even though I hate Cyclops. Like I will still play it because you know, it's X-Men.
I would play a Cyclops game in a heartbeat.
The game actually kind of
Blaze
reminds
all
me of
over it.
Wolverine Origins.
Oh, Origins?
I don't know what it is about that game, but it's a guilty pleasure for me. Those are the kind of vibes I got from the upcoming game.
It's literally one of the best Wolverine games of all time. So yeah, that's a valid assessment there. Like matter of fact, I remember watching Max watch the press conference, and he was saying that he felt like he needed to go back and play Origins after seeing that trailer. So
I don't blame him.
Yeah. What about you?
I think for Wolverine to piggyback off of what Kurosaki was saying, of course, to have it like polished, it's definitely going to be a need. But I think also too with like the Spider-Man games, like being able to have the balance of having the open world and kind of doing what you would like to do in the city, as well as having like the story and having it progress. I think having that like balance is going to be key to keep people wanting to play the game.
Okay. I'm just asking you a question in general. Do you feel like it should be an opening? Do you think it's going to be? From what I heard, it's going to be more linear. It's not going to be. But do you feel like a Wolverine game would be good as an open world game, or do you want to keep it linear? That is like you don't feel overwhelmed.
I feel like linear is probably going to be really good,
Keep it linear.
but with a little bit of like being able to like loot or explore within an area, a good balance of that. But keep it linear.
Kind of what they do with Wolverine Origins. Just more stuff to get, like collectibles and all that other kind of stuff. Without it being too much of a scavenger hunt, because you want to concentrate on the action mostly. So yeah, basically that. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Complex?
Question?
Do you feel like the game should be more open world or more linear?
I feel like it should be open world to a certain extent, because that all based on the environment. Like being open world and like a Spider-Man setting and it being taking place in New York, like that, you have the 5 boroughs and all, so it gives you space to work with. But it all depends on like the environment. I feel like it being able to explore more gives you more benefits, but that doesn't play into the story that they're trying to tell, it can also take away from it. Now, if they had like mini side quests that play into the story, then I would say open the world up a little bit. Okay. But if it's not going to be conducive to the story, then I feel like they should, it could be a little bit more linear than open.
Okay. All right. I feel like it should be linear too. An open world Wolverine game shouldn't be bad, but I think an open world X-Men game would be better, because that way, you can have the different characters. You have like the Rogue that can fly, Rogue Storm, and then you have the ground people. You have like the Wolverine, the Cyclops, the Gambit, and things like that. Which I know that they're going to make an X-Men game. That was one of the games that was leaked. Wolverine is the start of it. But when I'm hearing also that it's non-canon to the X-Men game, which is kind of stupid. But I think that's because of the leak that they kind of said that. But a semi-open world game would not be bad either for Wolverine. Like, you have pockets of small areas that you can actually go around and like collect stuff. Because I know with Uncharted 4 did that, where it was a linear game, but there were certain sectors in the game where you can drive around and go to certain parts and collect stuff. And it was actually pretty fun. And I kind of feel like that would work for Wolverine as well. But we'll see. I mean, I'm not afraid if it's going to be. I hope it does good. I really do. And I'm mad, but I'm still mad that we're not getting it on PC. I'm really not. But
I don't blame you.
Do you feel like the game's violence needs to feel more authentic? From what we've seen, I think it's very authentic. Like him lunge.
It's authentic enough.
That you have the lunge. That's all you need.
Wolverine doing Wolverine things. I mean,
yes.
What more could you ask for?
True. What about any of the ladies? How you feel? Like, do you feel like the violence needs to be more authentic? Do you want to see Wolverine tear somebody in half?
I mean, as long as they stay true to the character, that's all that really matters. Like, if that's the iteration of Wolverine you're gonna go with, then you need to have that feral violence and blood and gore. Like, it would be disingenuous if you was like, oh, he goes slash somebody's arm out and sprinkles come out. Like, I'm like, what is this?
By the way, I would love it if that, because there is certain games that do that where they have it where you can change the blood into like stuff like that. I would love if they did a filter like that. That'd be hilarious.
You want sprinkles? Oh, okay.
No, that'd be just a funny random
confetti come out.
Yeah, confetti. Like, it'd be hilarious.
So then, well, pinatas.
Yes, or candy, even candy. I mean, you could do it, and it's gonna probably be a mod for it. So, what about you?
How can there be? It's not going to PC.
Oh, I keep forgetting. I'm sorry about that. Right.
To be the bearer of bad news, but
you know what? We're going to talk about that because Xbox is doing something interesting, which I would definitely love to talk about more. But Quan, how do you feel? You feel like the violence needs to be more authentic?
I mean, I'm not a fan of like crazy violence and gore in games, but if the game calls for it and it makes sense with the story, then I think it's appropriate.
Okay. Yeah, I feel the same way. I have played violent video games. If you see my stream, I had multiple times. Like, well, as you know, I'm the Resident Evil head in the group. So, in terms of the newer ones, so I do have my fair share of shooting people in the face. But I don't really find like the violence is like it's giving me squeamish or anything like that. It's like it's video games. I can reset the character. I already know the difference between reality and fiction, so I'm fine. I don't have certain type of bloodlust that I need to see that, but I'm fine with it because it's Wolverine. Let him loose. His claws, like I said, we keep saying tonight, his claws are eat for everyone. So I'm not against it. I actually like. I want to see more of that. Both. Okay. Hey, Derpy, what's going on? But okay, all right. So Wolverine. So overall, you feel like Wolverine's going to do well? Is you feel like Wolverine's going to kick ass in the stores?
I think it'll do well.
Yeah. It's Insomniac Games, and then like if you don't know Insomniac Games and you haven't been a fan of Ratchet and Clank, that another series I need to come back, and I've been dying for another one. That last one was okay, but we need it. Oh my god, sorry, I'm not getting into that right now. But with moving on from Wolverine, there were other games that was out there. So the two that I'm going to bring up now, one being I mentioned it, and I believe Korn mentioned it as well. And that is Control and Onimusha. I'll start with Control. Do you feel like Remedy games are brilliantly strange or too confusing? So I know because we don't know Remedy games. Remedy games is the same company that made Alan Wake, Control, Max Payne, things of that nature. Do you feel like their games are like weird, like strange, or too confusing for you guys?
I only played Max Payne 3, so I really wouldn't know.
Oh, the GOAT. Oh my god. That game's amazing.
I think they have like a set kind of audience or like a look that they're going for in a way. So if you like that kind of like don't know if you could say like genre or subsect of it, but then it kind of works for you if you like it.
So to give some more context, I know with with Remedy, what they're doing now is they're trying to bring their universe together. So like Control, Alan Wake, I think even Max Payne, they're trying to bring them into the same universe. Because on Alan Wake 2 was supposed to have that connection, but unfortunately nobody really played Alan Wake 2. It came out and died like a wet fart. But yeah, it did. It did, but because one was way better. But what about you, Complex?
I have honestly never played any of those games, but I do know when Control Resonance, when we watched the Game Awards and they showed it, I was thoroughly impressed with it. And I was just like, visually, it looks appealing. The gameplay, it was captivating. So I was like, oh, I'm really interested. And I definitely did put that in the Discord for my like things that I liked from the award show, and I did wish list it. So that's something that I'm excited to play when it comes out.
Okay, so for me, I know for sure, I know it may not have a demo, but I would play a demo. Also, side note, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to mention it again. September is going to be a very busy month with all the games coming out, because both games that I'm mentioning right now, both games are coming out in September. I think, in fact, around the same time frame. So my wallet is going to take a beating, and it's going to be fine. But it would Control Resonant. Do you feel like it needs to explain more, or is the mystery part of the appeal?
The mystery
I'm sorry.
The mystery is a part of the appeal, and I feel like if there was like a beginning, in the beginning, they do a little tutorial to show you how to use, your powers and how to play the game. I feel like it could be from a naive perspective, meaning, like, remember, I haven't played any, so I'm just saying, if they did show you how to use it, I feel like from then on, it's kind of self-explanatory. Once you get the hang of playing it, you get through like the first 10-15 minutes, I feel like it should be easy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think that with the mechanics, of course, we'll learn them in the beginning, so it'll be easier, because I've only played a little bit of Control. I haven't gotten through the whole game, and I've seen just like a little bit of it. It looks to be like it's going to be a beautiful game. It's going to be fun to explore and figure it out, and I think that's kind of like the fun part of it too, figuring out how the game and the mechanics will work in your favor and kind of how it will mesh with your play style. So it's just kind of going to be a learning experience.
Okay, so the next game, Onimusha, I know the only person that really has played any of the Onimusha games, I'm not going to assume. I know it's most likely me and Shadowfox here, but if y'all do have a take on it, feel free. But do you feel like Onimusha feels like a real revival, or just another nostalgia play? Do you feel like it's just they're trying to egg on the fact that they released the two remasters, like 1 and 2, and now they're like, hey, here's a I don't even consider it a reboot, because I don't know if it's a continuation or not. But do you feel like it's a revival, or do you feel like they're just trying to bait everybody?
I don't know. It kind of sounds like a It kind of looks like a continuation to me. That's my guess. My experience with Onimusha, I've played 1, I've played 3, and I played a teeny bit of 4. So,
sorry. So, side note, speaking of 4, PlayStation announced that they're going to put it on the catalog, so you can get to play Dawn of Dreams again.
Okay.
Listen, it almost got me with Guitar Man. All right, I almost went and signed up for the premium thing just so I could play Guitar Man. And like, no, I have the actual game. I'm not doing that. But what about Corn? Have you any interest in Onimusha? Like, I know. Have you watched my gameplay of it, or have you seen anybody else's gameplay of it?
I haven't seen much gameplay of it. I've seen just a little bit. It looks kind of cool. It's probably not one that I would play, because I'm not really big into like fighting games necessarily. But if there's like a history element or like some kind of learning, then maybe I'd be pulled in to want to play it more.
Okay.
It does have some history in it.
Yeah, it does. I don't know. Because the funny thing about it is, when it comes to certain games, and this is me being funny, since I've known you and I see certain games and I know what the type of games you play, if I see a game that's more like exploration and it's more like, you know, finding items and solving puzzles and stuff like that, I'm like, this is a corn game. This is not. And then that's the new thing. And I have said it on multiple streams of mine that I've said, okay, this is definitely a corn game. And not all of them are horror. So like I said, it really did shock me with the Silent Hill one, because I'm like, I didn't expect you to say that out of all games. But listen, you're growing as a gamer, so I'm happy. But I understand. But speaking of like games and demos and mention anything like that, do you feel like showcase games, you know, should release more demos? Yeah, I agree with that too. Yes, hell yes. You mean games I want a demo so bad for? And I understand sometimes it's just the announcement of the game being made, but games like you know is going to be like coming out 3 months away. There should be a damn demo about it.
If I had a PS5, I would be freaking begging for a Wolverine one.
Oh, they're definitely getting one.
Yeah, I know that they are. Most likely are. Lucky bastards.
Oh, I was saying, I think demos are a great way to test the game to see if it's like something you'd really be interested in. And it can also help, I guess, from like a company perspective too. Sometimes you get a lot of times that you can return games that you really don't like after a certain amount of playtime. So it kind of saves people in the long run of going through that whole process of playing a game for 2 hours, figuring out if they really want to invest and keep this game. So that's probably going to help that would help from like a sales perspective as well. But it really also does help with like the hype of a game, so that you kind of can build more of a community and a more understanding of the game for when it fully releases.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I know definitely for sure a few of these games, even though like the Onimusha had a demo, and I know a small handful of games had demos. But yeah, we'll learn more down the way, like when they're gonna do. I know they're gonna do another state of play later on down the road. I think every 3 months we get a state of play, so we probably get one in August. So actually, when it's time for the Wolverine game to come out, we'll definitely get one for that. I think Complex stepped away for a minute, so I'm not gonna hold on. I'm gonna move on to the next topic, and yeah. So Xbox had, they had a lot of games, but Jesus Christ. And they had some big controversies, which we're going to be going to, because that's definitely talking about God of War. But we're going to hold on for that till a little bit later. But we're going to move on to the Xbox showcase. The Xbox showcase came out a week ago today. And there was a lot of games that came out. So we had the Gears of War E-Day, which Chaz is going to play. We had the Halo Combat Evolved, campaign evolved. We had Fable.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Clockwork Revolutions. We had State of Decay. We had Persona.
Oh, Persona 6?
Yeah. We get it.
We had Persona. We had Spyro. We had Doom, and we had more.
Time, freaking Spyro.
Yeah. Sorry about that. So, and then we also had Crazy Taxi. So, hell yeah. And it's gonna be open world too. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm calming myself down.
I'm not surprised.
I definitely enjoyed myself with the Xbox showcase though, even with some games. I was like, all right. This was the type of show that Xbox Action delivered, like games, familiar franchises, new energy, and new reasons to believe in the brand again. I don't really feel like they, pushed the envelope a little bit, which is fine. But did it really have the strongest showcase? I do have a question. Do you feel like Xbox is Xbox again because of the showcase? If anybody has watched it, anybody can answer.
I don't think it's Xbox. I mean, I'm not an Xbox fan, so don't have me go down that route.
No.
And so, but I do feel like it's a good start. Because I was like, you have to remember, she just took over earlier this year. These games were already in production, and this is what they have to work with. So it's just more of, okay, like, what can she really do? What can Xbox really do at that point? Next year now we're talking something different.
Okay, so one thing when it came to Xbox that they did, and it shocked a lot of people, they kept mentioning console exclusives. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the only difference between Sony and Xbox is the games that they mentioned, some of them are coming out to Steam. So like, Gears and other games. But what they mean by that is they're no longer putting games over to PlayStation. So Halo is the last game that they're porting over. So Halo's going to PS5 if I didn't know.
What?
Yeah. Halo only the campaign. So Halo is going to PS5 just like Gears was on PS5 last year.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is so weird.
Yeah. So what about you, Coin? Like you feel like the Xbox is being Xbox again? Are you a fan of Xbox or
A fan? I mean, my first system was an Xbox 360, so I kind of got used to a couple of the games.
Mhm.
But I mean, I get it. Them locking it to their console, them wanting to keep, the people who love it there. So I mean, I see it as like a marketing thing that they're doing. I think in the long run, they're going to realize that they'll end up losing out on some profits by not being able to have it like cross-platform or playable for other people. But I mean, look, if you want to keep it in house, keep it in house, and the people that are here for it will be there for it.
I do want to push back on that a little bit.
Yeah.
But I feel like you want to, so I saw with your mouth open, but go ahead.
I would know to kind of like counter what you said, Corn. No, a few of the games. The thing with Xbox is fine because in terms of people getting it, they don't necessarily have to have the console anymore to play Xbox games because you have Game Pass and they do have Game Pass PC. And I swear to everything I love, I could literally made a drinking game based on day one on Game Pass, and I would have been full blown drunk by like 30 minutes in.
Yes,
because that's how many times they said
it. Was a lot of that.
Yes, Jesus.
After every day one of it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, how much is Game Pass going to cost?
Yeah. So what's going on is, and I think that's what kind of like the detriment, the problem with Sony. They're making it more accessible because you can play Xbox games on your phone. So like,
okay.
Yeah, because with remote play. So it's like I wouldn't feel like Xbox is gonna have an issue with that, but it's just they need to lower that price of Game Pass more, in my opinion. They need to shut that shit down because what were they smoking? In fact, they are talking about recruiting.
Yeah, I heard they were talking about lowering it. That's why they try to like pair it with Discord Nitro. They try to give you more benefits of it. Like, oh, but Discord Nitro is like $10, but if you pay $30 for Game Pass, it's like kind of like Game Pass is $20, and then you're getting like, no, bitch, I don't care about that. I don't even have Nitro now. That's not enticing me.
True, because here's the thing: they even try to push it by for Fortnite players. Like, oh yeah, you get the free Fortnite crews. You have the Game Pass.
They did do that.
Like,
I'm like, but if we stop and think about it, that's not really a benefit because it's like every 2.5-3 months, the battle, not the battle pass, but with the crew membership, right? It's every month, and it's like $8-9. No, $12 or so, right? That's if you even really care for it like that. Like if you don't really care and you play Fortnite and you just more care about the battle pass, that's every couple of months. So like that's not enticing anyone. But I do want to push back on the exclusivity. Blah 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 blah. That's not that word wrong, but we'll move on. as you can hear that one, and the mascot is in the background being a hot mess. I had to mute the mic for a second. But I feel like that is what these consoles specifically are made for. These consoles are gaming consoles, but they're backed by companies. So I feel like when you have something like a Sony exclusive, it's like an incentive to buy that console because you can only play that game on that console. And that's when people start gatekeeping games like, Halo and Gears of War for Microsoft. And, but that's the point of it all. Like, because if that's not the point and you can get these games anywhere, then at a point it becomes, well, it doesn't matter what I have. I can still play these games. Because if I could connect my PlayStation controller to my computer, my Xbox controller to my computer, then I'm still getting the experience of holding an Xbox or a PlayStation controller and still playing their games on my whole computer. So then what would be the point of me having a console? Yeah. So I feel like, it is beneficial. I feel like Xbox was reaching. I feel like they opened it up because they needed the money.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So then, my next question would be, in terms of the game, the whole showcase, were there any games, like one game in particular, that impressed you throughout the entire conference?
I was impressed by Spyro. I was surprised by it more than I was impressed by it. But as the trailer continued and you saw the graphics and it was open world, I became impressed by it because I was definitely not in this big 2026 was I expecting to see a Spyro, because I had Spyro for the PlayStation 1. So stop playing with me. Like PlayStation 1, I had Spyro. So I always remembered that feeling of playing Spyro and stuff like that. And then for you to now, that's more of a nostalgia thing now. That would be a nostalgia buy.
Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah. I mean, and the fact that
I think get it though.
Yeah, and I think the reason why we're getting a new Spyro game is because the collection did well. I know they did recently the 3 games, the 3 main games reboot.
The Reignited trilogy.
Yeah. Which I do have, and I gotta go back and finish it. I didn't get the Crash one yet.
What?
Well, no, hold on. Let me explain. I have the Crash one on the Switch and the PS4. I didn't buy it on PC.
Okay, I do. I think I do have the Crash Bandicoot one. I have it on PlayStation. Yeah,
and I also have 4 as well. So yeah. But okay. What about you, Shadowfox or Corn?
It was just it was just a Spyro for me. That was it.
Okay.
I hate to have to say.
I have a handful. I really do have a handful, but I'm gonna behave and just stick to 2 and I'm not gonna mention Persona. That's a whole different thing. But there's a few that I really was hyped about. What about you, Quan?
I'm just going down the nostalgia route of doing Crazy Taxi. I'm just excited for that.
Yeah. Okay. So besides Persona 4 revival and the announcement of Persona 6, which if you watch the stream, I marked the hell out when I saw it, and I knew it was gonna be 6. Crazy Taxi, hell yes, and the 3rd Plague Tale game. If you never played Plague Tale, you should play it. It is really good. The first game is amazing. I didn't play the second game yet, and I have both games, but I remember playing the first one on stream, and it doesn't have a lot of action on it. It's heavily story based, but the story is really good. It tells about the plague with the Black Plague with the mice with the rats all over town biting people, and people are infected. And this one kid has the ability to control them, but he doesn't know it yet, and it's crazy. And then it's like the Inquisition coming after people, killing them for their religion, and it's crazy. People get murdered left and right. And then you can murder people left and right after you get the ability. It's crazy. But Crazy Taxi, yes, I'm definitely looking forward to that. As well as interesting thing here, and I just remember saying this. There's a game called Join Us. And Join Us is literally a game where you can make your own cult. And you can try to pass it along to people in the nearest town. And I'm just like, yes. Yes, I want this game because it's so stupid.
There's also a game called Honey. I Created a Cult on Steam.
Yes.
My TA has it. He plays it. He says it's very fun.
I want to play because there's a reason why. There's a reason why. Because in a certain game, I made myself have a town, and I was the evil mayor, and I wanted to make it into now. I can actually make it into a game where it's just I'm going like you're going to support Dark King.
He's trying to create a harem, guys.
Exactly. And we're gonna burn down your village, and it's gonna be glorious. but that's more or less that. But yes, that's a game that says to me. But
is that a thing?
Oh no, it's an amazing trailer. It's like it's not over the top though. It's just basically you just have it's kind of over the top because you can have them shave their head and everything. It's crazy work, but I'm day one buy. Day one on Game Pass, by the way. Because I know when I watched it last week, I know Complex was joining me, and so she understands. She understands the day one Game Pass thing. And my want to tear my hair out on that. My little hair left, but I'm gonna ask this next question. Moving on, are you excited for the new Gears of War game? Hashtag Chad-The prequels.
I have to see more of it.
You have to see more. They did a whole showcase literally after. They actually with the new Gears of War. They're adding jumping and climbing. Yes. Yes.
Oh yes, and when you're at like a level of something and you need to get a little lower. So
Yeah.
it's not just going to something and putting your back to it. If you need to slide down a little bit lower, you can
Yeah.
do that as well. Get even
So-
lower.
You can slide underneath trucks in that game. And I'm just like, I'm gonna hate multiplayer. I'm gonna see somebody slide under the truck and hit me with the shotgun, and I'm gonna quit the game. But how do y'all feel about the new Gears of War? I know one person said they're not gonna play it, but they're lying to themselves. They're gonna play it because hashtag Child Love prequels. So
Facts.
You're really
Yeah.
gonna try to get a
Intrigued because I'm wondering if it's going to be a 4-player co-op game. So
Oh,
that
okay.
that is one thing, and I'm really excited because I feel like the mascot. I feel like they couldn't have done a better development trailer
Yeah.
for Gears of War E-Day than what they did. I feel like it told you like the vibe behind the creative process, what it was about. And for a watch your mouth, Dark King, watch your mouth. Exactly. And so I feel like they couldn't have done a better job showing the passion behind the people that make these games, why they chose to do certain things, and then showing you how it looks, about the world, how it's more modern now. That's gonna give people now it feels new and fresh.
Mhm.
So I definitely am excited. I want to see more gameplay because one thing I do hate about is that side like heavy run that you do in Gears of War. I hate it with a passion.
The
When it
roadie
first
run?
came out, it was fine, but when you play it now, it's just like you're moving so slow. Why it feels like you weigh like 1,000 pounds. So I feel like if they can make it feel a little bit more lighter, more fluid, the movement is a little bit more fluid and polished. I feel like it can definitely contend with some of these games that are out now.
Okay. Quan, what about you?
I'm willing to give it a try and to see. It's not really like kind of my wheelhouse of games, but I'm opening up, so we'll see. Um, I feel like when I've played in the past before, it can. You were saying that now it's like kind of slowed down. It felt fast before, and like, and I had to memorize everything in a way. But I'm willing to maybe give it a shot and try it, but we'll see.
You okay? So when it comes to Gears of War, like I said, I've been a fan of the series. Even though it's a everything okay?
I'm fine. I said today hit my ear.
Ooh. But
I'm all right.
okay. So when it comes to Gears, I'm excited for it. Even though it takes place 15 years before the first game, so it's 15 years before Gears of War 1. However, it's not the first game that have done that. There's another Gears of War called Tactics, which I was trying to buy, but then the sale went back to $30. So I was like, I'm not doing that. But it's supposed to take place 12 years before the first game. And I'm just like, how does it? So then it's like, the only thing I can say about Gears is, this is going to be, the ending is not going to be great. And out of all the new characters they introduced, you already know 2 of them going to live. Like, so it's like, okay. And then, we get some context of what's going on. I know Coltrane's going to be in it in some part of it. Yeah, because you see his poster in the background, one of the in the bar, and it actually, the good thing about it, that shows you what happens when the Locust is like, yeah, you think you're having peace? No, we're not having peace. There's no peace, only war. So I'm excited for it. I want to play it. I'm not getting it day one on Game Pass. I'm telling you that right now. I'm definitely buying it on Steam. I already have it on my wish list, and I just want to see what the deluxe edition is going to be, so I can buy it off of Loaded or something else, because I know it's going to be something like that. Because I think the last Gears I played was 5, and I did not finish that game because I was so bored with 5. like I'm talking about story mode, multiplayer, and God bless me if I go on multiplayer with that game, because I unless it's horde mode. But we'll talk more about Gears in a minute. But going back to the Xbox showcase in general, do you feel like there was any sleeper hits? Thank you, Complex, for sharing the Steam page. Do you feel like there's any sleeper hits? Do you feel like the Xbox in general is doing strong enough to? Matter of fact, hold on, before we get to that, another game was announced. We're getting a Halo remake. It's a Halo, it's a remake. It's coming out for Xbox, PC, PS5, but it's only the campaign, and then you're gonna get a little bit of three extra missions that take place before the main game of one, which makes no sense because the prequel was the OTS. So OST. Sorry, I've said it wrong. I know it's a bunch of letters.
Official track sound.
Yeah, pretty much. But do you feel like the Halo campaign evolve is a smart move, or do you feel like they were trying to play it safe?
I felt like it was a nostalgia move.
Huh.
Or I'll elaborate more on why I feel like it's a nostalgia. I feel like it's a nostalgia move the same way Call of Duty brings back these legacy characters and like slaughters everything they were built upon in like Black Ops 6 and more of 7, because we saw how that turned out. That's why, they're bringing back Modern Warfare. They continue like, oh, Black Ops isn't working, so we have to like go Modern Warfare. We know people love that. Yeah. So, they play off your nostalgia. Or it can be trying to open the audience that has never played Halo. I will be one of those people who has never played Halo. It can be opening up people's eyes to what Halo is and trying to convert them to then go, oh, hey, we're going to have this Halo game in 2027 exclusively on Xbox, not on Steam or anywhere else. Then people will probably be more incentive to go be like, oh, well, I love the campaign and I have a PlayStation. Well, maybe I need to go buy an Xbox. Because there are people that have all three consoles and also have computers and play all three of them. So, that would be something that they could also be trying to do to open up the market, to be like, hey, look at this great game that used to be exclusive on Xbox. Let me give you a taste and now come over to the dark side.
Okay. All right. Well, see, for me personally, I'm not going to get the campaign evolve because I have the Master Collection on Steam, which is pretty much all the Halo games that they made from 1 through 4 plus the prequels. So I was like, it makes no sense for me to pay $60 for something I already own, and so it's basically a reskin. Oh, so I'm like, nah, I'm good on that. I'm not doing that. So that's me personally. I feel like they're playing too safe with that. Like you're trying to get back, and Halo hasn't been Halo since what, 3? Sorry, not the prequels with Reach and everything like that. After Reach, nobody gives a shit about Halo. Like, that's my opinion. But whoa, Shadowfox Corn, how you feel about that? You talked about it.
I have not played any of the Halo games. And unfortunately, I'm not that big a fan of the series.
Yeah.
I know that there's like a following behind it. So that's definitely where they're going with the whole nostalgia, taking it back to that. But then also, like Kurosaki said, about bringing a whole new like generation and audience and exposure to it. Like, I have not played a full game. I've played some of it. I've done like the multiplayer aspect of it. But there's a huge following, and there must be a big reason why there's such a huge following. And so I think that they're trying to expose this new generation to understanding why so many people fell in love with it in the first place and why it's become like a big household name that people like know. Like, even if you haven't played it yourself, you've heard someone mention Halo before and you can kind of get a reference. So
yeah. Okay. So all right. So now going back to the Xbox in general, right? Do you feel like any out of all the announcement that they mentioned, was there any sleeper hits that surprised you?
Of all the events, that was the one that I missed. Damn it.
Okay. All right. So I mean, the Castlevania Belmont's Curse for me, that looks good. It's basically Metrovania. Oh, Metro 2033. Yeah, that one as well. The Doom DLC for Dark Ages. I was like hyped for that, even though my computer is not gonna be able to play it, so I have to wait until I get the computer for it. Persona 4 Revelation Revival.
Wow, remake of Persona 4?
Now I have a question about the revival.
Oh,
is it gonna be as long-winded as it was in the beginning? Because I
watch your mouth. Hold on, I'm gonna answer the question.
I will fall asleep again.
You're not playing it.
It's just mine.
You're banned from the Persona Cookout from that.
All right.
Like, I know one thing though. People are kind of like, I tell you one thing about the revival, Persona 4 revival, right? They had they gave, I mean, the day the announcement, right? The same week they announced the limited edition collection, right? And there was a Steam version, and I made the joke and I shared it with friends. I was like, "Oh, should I get this? Should I get this?" And they was like, "Oh yeah, whatever, don't get it, whatever." I'm like, I wasn't gonna get it. Tell me why the next day I got up to go to work and I looked at my Amazon cart and it was like, "Oh yeah, this game that you wanted is no longer available for purchase." They already bought it out, and it's like, because the thing about it is, it's a digital code for the game with the deluxe edition. So the new thing with Persona games now are you get the music pack, which allows you to play music from other games. So the major ones is 3 and 5 now, that you can hear their music. You can wear Joker's costume or the main character from 3, and you hear their music. And then you get like the personas from different games, which basically will break the game. But the difference is that the limited edition is you get a statue of a main character and a keychain and some artwork, which is cool. But I'm not paying $250 for it. I'm a Persona head.
Damn.
Yeah, 250. That's too much. 50.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, hell no.
What the hell?
I think the most of it I paid for Persona game was $150, and that was for 5. But
That's too much.
Hold on. It came with a school bag based on the school. It came with a Morgana plushie, a still case, I think some artwork, and I still have it in the box. So it's like, yeah, I was like, yeah, I was happy about Persona 5 coming out. So and then hindsight, I was going to buy the Royal version, which came with a mask, and I'm like, oh, Resonance was in the show, the State of Play, but that one shocked me. And then they show actual gameplay, which looked amazing, and they adding, it looked like it's gonna be more fast paced than the original game, because Golden was slow. However, I feel like the story, because I know Reloaded was kind of slow start off. I know I did one stream for it, and most of it was just them talking, and I finally got some gameplay later on. So it's gonna probably do the same thing. But with Persona 4, it's a slow burn, but when it picks up, and the story is what grabs you. So if I know when I play it, I'm definitely not falling asleep on stream. Shout out to anybody who has played it and fall asleep on stream. Hey, Coin. But going back to
I was muted. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
The music was great. The beginning storyline that took like 17,000 hours.
Oh my god!
Come on, just shorten it and give me like a little bit. Like I needed them to shorten it a bit.
You need to build more than a fight again took 17 hours.
I needed a little bit more. Like it moved so.
You need a little bit more. It was giving you a hope. You know what? Nope.
It gave me a little too much.
No, not gonna fall into that, because that's what RPGs do.
Okay.
That's what RPGs immediately go into the action sometimes. No, I mean 5 kind of did. But
I'm here for the music of Persona 4.
I wouldn't go to a Persona concert, but we're not here for that. We're not here for that. I can talk about Persona all night, but we're gonna move on. We're gonna go back to Gears of War a little bit. So let me just, don't pay attention to the hashtag. But with the Gears of War, it's like, it feels like Xbox is planting a flag. They're trying to bring back Gears. Like I said, Gears hasn't been good since. I'm gonna sadly say this, but Judgment was the last Gears game that I actually enjoyed. Like,
you just don't learn, do you?
What are you talking about? But we're getting like the beginning, right when the beginning of the Nightmare with Dom, Marcus, the Locust. But do you when did you I kind of mentioned this now, but when do you feel like the Gears franchise lost you? And I think that would, for me, it's right around 4 for me.
A little after 4, and like in the middle of 5, that's where it kind of lost me.
It lost me at 3. I played 3.
Wait, it lost you at 3?
I played 3. I enjoyed it. I didn't really. I saw trailers and stuff for 4, and I was like, eh. And I didn't own an Xbox, so what I used to do was we would go to my friend's house. He lived like 5 houses down. We'll walk down there. We'll go and we'll play. We'll have separate Xbox accounts. Log in, and we'll just play on the same TV, and it was so much fun. That's why I love co-op games. But it was just I've never owned an Xbox because I never felt the need to. Xbox has never appealed to me besides him saying oh, hey, play this game with me. and I play it and I enjoy it. But then it's like, okay, but after this game, what else do you have? So like Gears was one of my Xbox staple games. Like that's one of the games. That's why I bought it for the PlayStation, because I did enjoy the game a lot. So, but 3 is where like I played it, enjoyed it a lot, and then it lost me with what they were doing with 4.
Okay. Quan, have you ever touched a Gears of War game before?
I'm gonna let you answer your own question. I'm gonna let you guess.
Okay, so that's a yes. No, you haven't played Gears before.
No, I haven't played it. I've seen a touch of it, but it really not my thing. But for those that like it, it's a good thing.
Okay. Okay. Do you feel like, so that's a 2-part question here. Do you feel like E-Day will modernize, needs to modernize without losing it as an identity? And do you feel like going backwards in the timeline would make the game more exciting? A twofold question there.
Kind of what I'm afraid of.
Because
I mean, oh no, I was gonna say that like them going back in the story is gonna help us understand a lot of things that happens and the ones that we know already. So I see why they're doing it. They're gonna get more story out of it and more like lore for the game. So that would make sense why they went back in time.
I feel like go ahead.
No. I'm going by what Corn's saying, because like you don't really need to, because like when it comes to the 3 games, they did give you enough. Like you knew, like that the war was hell. Like everybody, especially with the 3rd game, you knew shit was bad. So yeah, I prequel. I don't know where would you go by that. Like what story could you really tell? We already know the locusts were pieces of shits that wanted to destroy the world, and the humans were just trying to be the last. Like I know the difference between the first game and this one is a lot of people are going to die in this game. It's going to be a bloodbath in this prequel, because by the time you get to 1, like the humans are like now almost in their last leg. It's not as much humans as it was going to be in this one. Like you remember, and you look at the first in the E-Day, the locusts did nothing wrong. That's crazy. That's crazy. But if you look at it, the areas that were well structured, like you had the buildings where people were like going. It's like, matter of fact, the beginning of the game, like Dom and Marcus are in a bar having drinks, like just chilling. Like in Gears of War 1, you couldn't even think that, because you, especially at night with them fucking bats that would kill you in an instant. I'm so glad they only left them in 1 game. But I don't know, like I don't mind a prequel in a certain sense. Just make it make sense. Make it make sense. You know?
I feel like the prequel. I feel like they made a right call with doing a prequel, because whether you hate or love the ending, you don't really want to do a continuation. You would have to do a prequel to one of the parts to continue the story with some of the characters that you do have, because if not, then you're creating a whole new Gears of War universe if you put new characters in that weren't there. So now you're creating. But I feel like when you go through the prequel, you have legacy characters. You're building on that nostalgia from the legacy characters, on top of building on to the story, and you're also building in itself a new world, because this is something you've never seen. I'm sorry, what happened?
Oh, no. Don't mind me. I'm
okay,
sorry.
you tweaking? All right.
No. Chaz is saying some bullshit on the chat.
He said, "I love prequels like
Judgment."
And people hate it.
And so, and that's why I feel like it's better to go with like a prequel, because it's safer that way.
Yeah.
And you can, and you're also building a world that, like I said, like you've never seen. You've never seen what it was like, unless you're looking at like if they have flashbacks or things like that. You've never seen the world before the Locust. So this is showing you something that you've never seen before. So it is technically, in a way, a new game and a new experience. Because now you're seeing people getting killed in the street. You're seeing people like regular civilization existing, and then it all crumbling in front of you. It could also feed into their mental health, like how they viewed what was happening when they had to defend and watch people die at the same time. So I feel like it's going to be a good game. I'm excited for it. And I will, if they continue on and they show more like how the game is played, and like overall the game itself, then I feel like I will probably most likely cough that $70 fucking up and purchase
Good
it.
Lord.
See,
$70.
that's
Yeah.
if you get the standard
Prices
copy.
are-
The deluxe premium get fucked. The edition is going to be $99. So
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the new thing now. See, I'm for it, like in the sense of because I know I'm not gonna pay that much money for that. It's most likely I'm probably like pay $70 for the limited edition, I mean the deluxe edition. But yeah, I don't mind it. I don't feel like I don't mind. Like I said, the prequel have to make sense, so I'm fine with that. Also, it was said on here first. Two things he loved prequels, and he mentioned Judgment. So I don't want to hear shit. It's in canon that Chaz loved Judgment. Even though, like I said, people hated Judgment because of the fact that it was a prequel that made no sense in a sense, but it did because it told the backstory of what happened to Bard and Coltrane before they met up with Marcus, so it doesn't hurt. But I can understand the hatred for it. But compared to other Gears games that came out, like with 4 and 5, because no one to this day gives a shit about Marcus' son. To the point where they wanted to kill him you had an option to kill him in 5. That's how bad he was. That's sad. But moving on with Gears, I do hope that Gears come out, and I also do hope it's 4 players because they did emphasize in the showcase that there are 2 characters they're bringing in, and usually, with Gears, they introduce characters, but in the beginning, 2 characters end up getting murdered or have to leave for some reason. And they just keep shifting the other 2 characters, but they mentioned these 2 characters as characters they brought in. So I don't know. We may have 4-player co-op this time around, which would be a first in Gears, in terms of Gears story mode, because you can play 4 players, I think, in Horde mode back in the day. Which they didn't announce Horde mode, but I know they do. I'm in for that shit.
They better.
Yeah,
that's like one of the main staples, man.
I did say during the conference last week that if they did Horde mode, you'll be right there, but like, let's go, let's roll, just run it in there.
Fuck yeah.
But
shit,
moving on,
Chaz will tell you we used to freaking rock Horde mode for hours back in the day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember hearing about it. But for the most part, now, I mean, besides Gears, there were other games out there. I know they mentioned like Halo, Fable, and another game that they're coming out with is called Clockwork Revolution, which is pretty much, like I was saying to Quan earlier, is basically BioShock with time travel. Because like you can alternate, like basically there's a setting and you get the ability to go back in time, and basically in your actions you can change the present. Basically you can change that one company is more in power in the future, and it's like but it looks like BioShock. Like, but my question is, but going back to Halo, do you think Halo can recover by returning to its campaign roots? And I'm going to answer that question no, because Halo needs a whole thing besides the nostalgia bait. Honestly, they need a fresh take. Master Chief needs to sit his ass down somewhere. That's just my opinion. But what about anybody else?
Like I said, I don't have any experience with Halo at all.
Yeah. Okay. So we can keep that short and sweet. I know we kind of talked about it. We talked more about Halo earlier. So we don't have to really keep double down on this one. I think in terms of, I know I'm not buying the collection. I'm not buying the combat involved, unless I have to do a review for it, which I doubt.
I'm not as well, so
yeah. So we can just move on. What about Fable? Anybody have played Fable, interested in Fable, know what Fable's about?
I've seen my friend play Fable, the one that had the Xbox. I watched him play Fable, and I was just like, what is this? I still need answers to those questions.
Yeah. You're not going to get them, but
I don't even remember seeing Chaz play Fable, but that was it. Never played it.
That's more of a Chaz type game. Like I'm not interested in Fable. I you know what, when it comes to those type of games, like the medieval type of games, I'm not big on them. Like, it's very rare that I would play those type of games. I'm not hating on those type of that genre, but it's just something about it. Like, I'm not a big Skyrim fan, so I don't see myself getting Fable. Me personally. What about you?
I've heard of it. I've never played it myself, so I'd have to like really look into more of the gameplay to see if that's something I'd want to invest in.
Okay. Now, okay, people give you a choice to clap,
What?
roar, or wrap it up. What, Nova?
Crazy.
Jesus Christ!
I mean, smart.
Christ! You have a choice of
Smart.
being evil, like being fully evil. He ain't lying. You can be fully evil in that game, or you can be really good in that game with Halo. You have that option. You have to buy condoms in the store. Oh, Jesus.
Really?
Christ. First of all, everybody knows going raw is the best thing, but that's different. That's not even here nor there. But why in the game?
Educate the youth. Educate the youth. Let them know, hey, you can go to the store, do what you got to do. Hey,
because if not, you have kids.
that's true. That's true.
Just make sure your pull-out game is on point. What the fuck you talking about?
Nah. Some people just can't do it.
What do you mean?
It's
You
fine.
feel that little weenie. You just gotta. You hit a spider sense. The spider sense going on your side. Different time, different place. Different time, different place. All right. Do you feel
Different area codes? That's crazy.
different topic? That's one a nameless podcast topic. But do you feel like this modern Xbox games, besides like I said, I know like the Clockwork Revolution. Do you feel like it's gonna be a sleeper hit, or do you feel like it's too ambitious? Like I mentioned, it's gonna play like BioShock with just time elements into it. Do you feel like it's gonna be? Have you seen a trailer of it recently?
And like I said, that was the only showcase that I've missed because I don't really have an Xbox like that no more.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody think that's going to be a sleeper hit? Would you like to see a trailer of it to get an understanding of it?
What, Fable?
Not Fable. Clockwork Revolution.
Yes, please.
Okay. Bear with me one moment. I'll just play that real quick. I think me and you watched it last week. Complex when I was watching the
I might have came in after I think after this one. Wait, hold on. No, wait. I'm looking at it now. Oh yes, I do remember this one.
Okay.
Yes, I do remember it.
I see somebody's actually uploading clips of their racing, being a racing fanatic. God damn, most of these trailers are fucking 3 minutes. 4 minutes. I'll show half of the trailer. Hold on.
You can look at it on Steam. Steam has.
Oh, I got this. Hold on. Sorry about that. Share screen. Okay, let me see. Okay, there we go. I just want to make sure I share the screen correctly. All right, here we go. I'm going to share. If you can't hear the notes, I apologize. But there we go.
It's my kind of night. Alarms are ringing, bullets are flying.
What you do that for?
My fingers slip. And every copper in the tangle is on my tail.
Come to order.
Let me introduce you to some of my colleagues.
Even my schemes have schemes.
Me, I prefer to make it up as I go.
Okay, this is giving me more. The more I'm seeing it, it's more Dishonored.
Getting through without me. Everyone knows you're easy pickings for someone with any sand. Then give my regards.
So let me just move on a little forward. Some more gameplay here.
Ah, defeat. You were all doing so
I
well.
expect us to go quietly.
Well, I certainly don't expect any trouble from some of Avalon's most disposable.
I did say a funny joke last week when it came to this, but
Hello, frightened human. I can get you out of this.
yeah. So now it's like it's BioShock, but it's like time travel.
You've just jumped about 25 years back in time. This place, on this day, is ripe for changing the course of history.
This life ain't one for granting easy choices, but I just found a way to control the past.
Oh my god, is that the Infinity Gauntlet?
In our favour. Brought you a little toy with a big mouth.
What a proper little villain.
Chaotic.
You'll ever be, you decrepit old soak.
The blood, the priest, who do we like the least?
So, yeah, but
Nothing's ever given to folk like us, especially not the future.
like I said, depending on your actions that you play.
But this time to steal it.
When they're done,
What more could an honest thief ask for?
stairs, well, they're all going to screw you.
So yeah.
Yeah, screw you in the end.
So yeah. So it plays more like it's more of a what the hell? Why am I blue? Okay. It plays more like a BioShock with like time travel. So like it's like your choices that you make in the game affects the world like in the future. Yeah, he does. And yeah, and one part what she said about the people, and I'm like, yeah, you could just model the people like you and call it a day. That she pretty much is what she said. But do you feel it's gonna be a sleeper hit from what you've seen so far? Like the fact that like my assessment of it being like BioShock with time travel. Do you see exactly what I'm talking about now?
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, like matter of fact, more like BioShock Infinite.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about.
Yeah, which is a great game, by the way. If you haven't played it, a lot of racial undertones in that game, but yeah, it's really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the game hits you hard when you have to throw a ball at an interracial couple. That shit, you have a choice whether to throw the ball or not. Either or, you don't hit them. But it's just like you have that option, which is crazy work, by the way. But yeah, how do you feel about that game? Do you feel like it's a game that y'all would try out?
I think I would try it out, especially if it was like free to play prior to, because I did play a little bit of Dishonored, and I was a little confused by Dishonored. Not more of the mechanics of it all. It was more of, it was something different, the vibe, and I'm not a stealthy person, so like, hence why I like Gears of War. Like, can't lose with a chainsaw on your gun. But it's just more of like, now you have to like change the way you play to play this game, be stealthy, and like it's more like, it's like, think about like Assassin's Creed, the stealth mode of it all. So
looks trash. Already background character, it looks trash. Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. Besides it being day one on Game Pass, I think I would give it a try, but I wouldn't pay full price for it. I don't think I'm gonna like, because the thing about it is, what was it? The Outer Worlds. That game came out. I enjoyed the first one. I actually had a whole character. Well, at the time, I named it after my ex. I made a character, and then I was like, okay, cool. And then I stopped playing the game, and then I had to delete that character and start fresh. But I know they made a sequel, and the sequel didn't come out good. So I have a small love with those type of games. Like, I've never beaten a Fallout game. Like, the only Fallout game I put in work was for Shelter, and that's a mobile phone game, which I'm gonna play on PC one day because I do have the PC copy of it, which is hilariously fun. But yeah, I mean, I'll look into it and see what's going on. But with that being said, we're closing the door on the Xbox showcase. You know, we had a few which games. Persona, I can't wait to see you. I'll see you in February. You know, you sexy beast. And I already know who my love interest is going to be in that game. If it's not Chie, you're wrong. But I'm lying. But we're going to move on to another game company that's been well known. Shout out to them losing to Power World. And that would be Nintendo. Now, this State of Play, I didn't really watch it live because I was at work at the time, because Nintendo like to do things ass backwards. So they like to do their stream during the middle of the day, in the beginning of the day, where people were, adults are working, and at the time kids are in school. So I had to
the other side of the world.
Yeah, so I had to watch it, and then you put it on a Friday when I was like, wasn't working from home, so I couldn't have it on my TV. So I literally, let me tell you what I did. I had my phone, like I was at work doing my job, and I had my phone like showing the thing, because I think my what was it? Yeah, somehow I did it where I had my phone playing the video. I had it on mute, but I was watching the trailers and stuff like that. While I think my manager was on the lunch when he did that. So he didn't know what I was doing. I was like, okay. So we did get a few announcements during the Nintendo conference. So we got the remake of Ocarina of Time, the new Zelda game. They finally showed gameplay for Kingdom Hearts 4. They also showed the new Xenoblade game, Star Fox, which is coming out in a couple of days. A Splatoon single player mode, Rhythm Heaven, which looks fun, a Fire Emblem game, Dust Bloods, Onimusha, and there's others. So when it comes to Nintendo, we all know Nintendo's the little kid, the little brother, the little brother of the gaming industry. But everybody has nostalgia for it. Out of the conference, if you've seen it, do you know if was there any game that was like your biggest surprise? that made you go, oh shit, I need to play this?
Kingdom Hearts 4.
Okay.
Shut up.
No, it's okay.
No enthusiasm behind it.
No.
Yeah, I know. That's why I told you to shut up.
Drink said lies.
You don't know me. You don't know my life.
But what about you, Shadowfox?
Yeah. This is gonna be a hot take, but no, it's not Kingdom Hearts. Shut up. It's gonna be a hot take, but the new Star Fox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even though it's Star Fox 64 for the 5,000th time. Wow, we're still getting that. Why couldn't they just continue from Star Fox Evolved?
No.
Still, I like how the game looks. Hell, I love how the game looks.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, the characters may look like they may haunt your nightmares, but I like how the game looks.
How's the Star Fox in the movie looks better than he does in his remake of his game? But no, yeah, and
what that kid said.
Yeah. You can say the same thing for Ocarina of Time. Like, is this the second remake because they remade it for the 3DS. So yeah.
Well, the Star Fox game was the only game that caught my interest in that. I did see most of the direct, but damn.
So with Nintendo,
needless to say, I ended up skipping through some of them.
Oh,
I saw a little bit of the Kingdom Hearts thing, but I don't know.
So a few announcements that surprised me. Kingdom Hearts 4, yes, but I'm gonna say the same thing I told everybody else. When it comes to Kingdom Hearts, I kind of jumped ship after 3. I'm like, okay, y'all can go ahead and continue the franchise. I'm not gonna follow you, so I have no interest in buying 4. I don't care anymore. That's fine. You want to make it, but based on 15, that's fine. Enjoy. I don't care. I'm just not doing it for myself anymore. It's a disservice for me to continue on. But for the most part, we are getting a new Tales remake, a remaster too. I believe it was Tales of Eternia is getting remade, and I'm like, yeah, remastered, which I'm fine with. And there's nothing that really made me go, oh snap, I want to play this game so bad. I've never been a Xenoblade fan. I jumped ship from Xenogears, and then Xenogears, and then Xenosaga, and then after that, I tried Xenoblade, and I just couldn't. The combat system kind of made me just go, I'm good. But yeah, is anybody excited for the new Zelda? I know you mentioned Kingdom Hearts, but anybody's excited for Zelda?
I actually am not. I have actually never played a Zelda game before.
The only Zelda game I have the original gold cartridge Zelda, but the only Zelda game I've ever beaten was Breath of the Wild.
It was a teeny bit of Ocarina of Time for me.
Yeah. Lane, both of us? What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm not a Nintendo head, so I'm fine.
It is what it is, bro.
Yeah, I'm not
the shit out of. That's your business.
Yeah. I'm not a big Zelda fan at all. See, it's not my controller. I don't know. So on the Ender's Game, we're never getting that. But as you're saying, Complex, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying just because you want to glaze Nintendo, don't put that on us. Like, I've never been a big Nintendo fan. Like, I did have the Game Boy Color. I did have the DS. I had the SP. I had the 3DS. I had the GameCube, and I had the Wii.
Jesus.
And
Nintendo nerd.
That's where I stopped purchasing. Like, some of the other games, those are systems, handhelds. That's like what my parents bought. What I bought with my own money was like the Wii. And I bought that more for like Wii Sports. It wasn't really to play Nintendo exclusive games or Nintendo games.
Yeah.
It was just more for like, the interaction, the co-op of it all. That's what I bought it for. And I did buy the Wii U. My daughter did have a Switch and a Switch 2, but now that goes down to the kids. Yeah. So I've never been. Go again. Oh, okay. Thank you, Connor. So, anyways, all right. Okay. And so, trying to multitask here. So, oh my God. Anyway, yes, I used to glaze, because I had a PlayStation 2 at the time. I had a GameCube, because if you look at the comment, somebody's over here trying to call people out. And yes, I was glazing because I had Resident Evil 4 for the PlayStation because it gave you a weapon on there, and I also had it for the GameCube. I am not ashamed of my game.
That's
so,
fine.
anyways, yeah. So that's how I feel about it. But I'm excited for Kingdom Hearts 4 because it looked visually different. They have more IPs to build upon, more Final Fantasy games they can build upon to put in the game, more Disney characters they can build upon. So and it looked good. So that was one of my reasons I jumped ship at 2. I didn't continue on. So Utada Haruko, please grace us with your presence on 4. We would love to get another song from you.
I mean, the best one is only one. I mean, because Sanctuary was
Passion is simple and clean.
Passion, yes. Sanctuary is garbage. Ugh.
Yeah. You and I. Yo, I was like, what is this?
And people sit there and say, "Oh, that's my shit," and I'm just like, "What are you smoking?" Oh.
Sanctuary. But so that's why I am gonna go because I know they did do 1.5 and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I never played those.
Oh, so I was gonna say. So speaking of place, when it comes to Kingdom Hearts, so at 1.5, apparently also the announcement they are going to do a pack where they'll give you all 3 games, and it's finally coming out to the Switch.
Oh, I did hear that. So
here's the thing. So Switch already has all 3 Kingdom Hearts games. However, it's the cloud version. And the problem with it is sorry. You mentioned chain of memories. Excuse me. But now with the new version of Kingdom Hearts, what they're doing is they're actually giving you the copy of the game. It's not a cloud version anymore. And they're like, anybody who purchased the game, they'll get a discount on getting the Switch 2 version of it. And I'm just like, you greedy fucks creating the fact that instead of you just getting the copy of the game, you still have to pay for a copy of a game that you already own. And I'm just like, oh, you poor anybody who bought the cloud version of any game, you're a poor fool. Like I knew never to do that.
You were robbed.
You were damn robbed. Because anytime the server shuts down, you don't have a game and you gave them the money. You just basically Netflix the game. Which hey, shout out to Game Pass. But oh my god, memories. But we know, you're gonna continue on. Hold on. So out of all the games that they show, I think Corn, you say you're back, right?
I'm back.
Okay. So I'll ask a question real quick. You've seen the Nintendo showcase. Was there anything that surprised you? Anything that excited you?
That excited me was probably the Nintendo Switch Sports Resort. It's like bringing the Wii back for me. And there was a time and period of my life where I absolutely loved playing Wii Sports. Like I have memories of playing Wii Sports. Like I love that game. And then I didn't own the system, my cousin did. So when I would go to her house, we'd play it all the time. We'd have a ball. So I'm so excited to bring that back and to see how they kind of revamp it, to have the characters back, the music. They need to have the theme song. It's gonna be amazing. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah. Okay. So with me, that was fun. I knew that she was gonna say that because the only weird ass game was the Quagmire game. I mean the thumb wrestling game.
Wow.
So when I say the Quagmire game, it's because one hand is small as shit and the other one is a giant ass hand to play the thumb wrestling, and it's like, god damn. It's just Nintendo's showing something that they don't want to show, but the other games look fun. Like I know the bowling. We got bowling back and thing which is fun. You have tennis. You have sword. You have boxing.
Mm-hmm.
I actually enjoyed the sword play with the previous resort. But do you? But by saying that, all the games we mentioned, even though Mid Hearthstone 4, any of the games that they mentioned, do you think they justify getting a Switch 2?
Absolutely not.
No. No. That's a no on that.
Absolutely not.
Damn. Say it with your chest. God damn.
Absolutely not.
Like,
is that
no, it's fine. You're fine. Listen, it's life, all right? I'm not getting a Switch 2. I don't even want the Switch anymore. I mean, I don't want the Switch. I'm not even playing it right. Oh, sorry, no.
Yeah.
Put it down. Yep.
Hell,
Yeah,
I'd rather stay with a Switch. The first one.
Yeah.
Now, if they're
Listen,
bringing the GameCube back.
Well, I mean,
fine.
technically, we're close to getting the. If you have the Switch 2, you do have the.
No thanks.
No, I
the
want
game-
the box.
Pause.
You won't relax. I want the GameCube. I want the cube.
All right. I love Nintendo and will forever glaze them ever. Okay, so I'm putting these messages on here, so when they go on YouTube, it actually shows that he's saying these things.
Mhm.
These are actual quotes that he means. Knicks, shout out to the Knicks winning the finals.
We're the champions!
Yes.
Let's fucking go!
So not only that, we got Knicks at 5 and Persona 6 announcement in the same month. Thank God. Can't wait to play that game. But yes, Knicks at 5. All right, but. Holy shit. And we got Chaz saying he loves prequels on the same month. Let's go.
How naive are you?
Huh? I believe what I believe, and my delusions are real. Anywho, is there any like okay, so we went to Kingdom Hearts and everything like that. That's fine. You know what? Let me pull up everything because I know I've watched it, but like it's like with the Switch, for me personally, the Switch showcase, I didn't really get a good look at it as much. I kind of skimmed through it. I know a lot of the games that they mention are like ports over from they announced that they're gonna bring Onimusha to the Switch too, which okay, cool. And they mentioned what other game?
Next.
Damn. Okay.
It is what it is, man.
I'm sorry. Hold on. So let me see here. But I know the Tales game.
That Muramasa game. Holy shit.
Yes, Muramasa is coming back. Yes, that's a game I'm looking forward to because I had the Switch version and I had the game on the Wii.
My friend had it. One of my friends had it for the Vita.
Yes, I still have it for the Vita. Yes,
that game was colorful.
Yes, it was.
It's so freaking colorful.
The fact that the game is on Steam now, you can buy it on Steam. Yes, it's coming out on Steam. I already got a wish list. The fact that game is coming out on Steam, I'm only praying that Dragon's Crown and Odin's Spear is coming to the Steam, and I'm going to buy both of them. Like no hesitation. If you don't know what Dragon Crown is, it's an RPG beat 'em.
I know what it is.
No. I'm talking. Not you're not the only one here. I'm talking. I'm not just like it's an RPG beat 'em up, which is Dragon's Crown. Yes. Oh yeah, Celeblade is coming to Switch too.
The one with the sorceress with the huge rat.
Yes. I had a good amount of time playing with that character.
Oh,
because she's actually a beast in that game. Calm down.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Nintendo they did a Jujutsu Kaisen. I mean, basically like vampire survivor type game, which is going to be like a battle royale. We got the Liza P complete edition.
Next.
Yeah. Hey, Liza P is good. And Devil May Cry is coming out of Switch 2. Next. All 3 Xenoblade games are getting a Switch 2 update next. So yeah, Star Fox. And and Final Fantasy is coming out with Resonance, which is basically a brand new RPG for based on the Final Fantasy series that looks like Octopath Traveler. However, it's basically Final Fantasy Persona because you can take personas from other games and use the abilities to help you fight enemies, which I'm like, but yeah. But when Nintendo, was there anything like
Kagura still going on?
Yeah. But hold on, I haven't had fun with Persona since have you played 5? You know what? Stop. No. Because Persona is a whole conversation that we can have a whole podcast by itself.
But they're trying to modernize Samurai Kagura.
What? And you said since the V. I mean, you're basically saying 4 is golden. 4 is the golden version, which I agree with you. But 5 is really good too. Anyway, so you know what? I have a question with Nintendo, right? What dormant Nintendo franchise do you feel like needs to come back? Like needs another revival?
Rugrats.
What Nintendo
franchise?
with Nintendo made franchise, Rugrats is Nickelodeon.
Oh, no offense.
Do you feel like that needs to come back? Because Rugrats did it recently, which was really good.
Nintendogs.
Well, hey, shout out to Corn. She said her connection is messing up, so she's gonna step away for a bit and redo. No, I see you. And actually, you know what?
No, it's cute.
No. You know what? Nintendogs is easy money because Nintendo did sell. It did sell when it came out.
Yeah.
It did. It's great for like little kids that like leg pads
and dog lovers.
And yes, it's really cute.
Yeah, and they're gonna do Nintendo Cats too. So you know they're gonna do both now. The internet cut out because she said Nintendogs. Facts. But no, Nintendogs was actually it was a solo mode game, but but the thing with Nintendo is that it would sell for Nintendo because Nintendo they thrive on nostalgia. They thrive on the games they know is going to be for everybody. That's what kind of limit them to their thing. Because I know, like so far, there's going to be a later topic we're going to talk about. It's just the fan base for Nintendo fans. Oh my god, they are worse than the zombie apocalypse. Holy shit! Like Nintendo fans are Jesus. But all right, so Nintendogs for you. What about you, Shadowfox? Any dormant Nintendo games besides Rugrats that you want to
No.
Okay. I think Complex actually stepped away for a bit, so hold off. With me, Nintendo franchise, I would love a good Punch-Out game. I mean, the last time we got a Punch-Out game was like for the Wii, and it sold beautifully. It sold well, and especially with the move control with the Switch controllers, you can still do a boxing game. It'd be great. Like I would love a Punch-Out game. Or Punch-Out, or that's pretty much it. Because like anything else, and when we're gonna get a Mario game, I mean, the only Mario game we got for the Switch 2 was Mario Kart. Zombie U is not happening because I know Zombie U you can buy it. Ubisoft ported that over to the consoles, so it wouldn't be a Nintendo franchise anymore. It would just be a Ubisoft thing. But okay, but real quick, what about Kingdom Hearts? Do you feel like Kingdom Hearts still? Yeah. I'm going by the questions, so let's see it. I gotta ask. What about Star Fox? Like, do you see anything like? Do you think people want a Star Fox game?
They want a Star Fox game that's not 64. That's the shorter answer.
Yeah, but the problem with that, the last Star Fox game that they did was I forgot it was. It was the one that came up for the Wii U. It was the Wii U game, and it did not sell well. Zero. Yeah, it did not do well. So they tried to go. See, the problem with Nintendo is they try to move forward. But a lot of times, if the game doesn't sell what they wanted to do, they'll go back to nostalgia to bring people back. That's the problem with them. Like, if a Mario game sucks, please believe they're gonna probably do a port of like, hey, they know that if they do like a collection, a 3D collection of Mario, it's gonna sell like gangbusters. Because that's how I got caught up with it. Because I got the physical copy of the 3D and 3D All-Star game. Yeah, which by the way, the stupidest thing they could have possibly done. They was like, oh yeah, and it worked. They was like, oh yeah, this game is out for this long. After September, we're no longer selling these games. That's it. You're screwed.
My brother got it when he did.
I got the physical copy. Yeah, I ain't buy digital of that. But then it's like, yeah, because I got to play Nintendo. But the thing about it is, honestly speaking, hindsight, I should have spent my money. I spent $6 on that because you got 3 games. You didn't even get Galaxy 2. You got Galaxy 1 only, and it's like that makes no fucking sense. And then you get like the soundtrack, which goated. I mean, the Super Mario 64 soundtrack is goated, but come on, huh? Oh, I wasn't doing it on stream. I don't know. Also, you know what? We're gonna go to another topic, but they mentioned on one of the conferences. They mentioned something, but they didn't mention a certain. They mentioned a certain hedgehog, but I'll get to that later. But okay, all right. So Nintendo was good. Nintendo was all right. It didn't really, it wet the whistles to all the Nintendo fans. But, we covered the 3 consoles. We covered the PlayStation. We covered Nintendo. We covered Xbox. Mm-hmm. But let's go to the creme of the creme. Let's talk about the Summer Game Fest. The big event that happened on that Friday where we had the whole 2-hour games of trailers.
Call Sonic a rodent again?
What?
Quite literally break you in 2.
I mean, the cute one.
Hold on.
This person trying to be Eggman over here.
Well, first of all, that's Tails. But Also, by the way, hold on. By the way, I have to say, out of 4 months, that's my first.
You're not exact.
That's my first. That is literally my first Tales joke since you've been back. I am so serious. I felt good. I have not made a Tales joke in a while. God damn. So, Summer Game Fest as always.
Smash this flagpole right on your bald head.
I'm not
But
bald.
I love my country, so I'll use a more blunt object.
So we have strong Nintendo fans here. What's going on, Margin? So you have strong Sega fans here, Sonic fans here. But I would just say that Summer Game Fest has always been a trailer storm. Some reveals are huge, some are strange, and some disappeared from memory 5 seconds later. Yes, there was a lot of trailers that disappeared off people's memory quickly. But within a wider event, we saw major horror games, action RPGs, indies, and legacy franchise announcements. What was the best, in terms of Summer Game Fest? I know Summer Game Fest started really in 2023, I should say, 22, 23, after E3 died. Do you feel like in terms of the Game Fest, the trailer this year, do you feel like it was really good? Did you feel like it was, once again, do you feel like, oh my God, do you feel like there was this the one that grabbed everybody's attention this year? Like any games that stood out to you for this year? There's a handful. Yo, get them sloths off my fucking.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, no, I'm not gonna go to character. There's a few. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's a couple games that stand.
One of them being the first trailer that they showed.
Oh, hold up! Didn't they say they was gonna make a Luigi's Mansion 4?
They said it, but nothing was announced. We can get into that another time. We can get into that with Sonic. But that's a whole topic with itself. I am happy to see. Speaking of, we actually are on the Game Fest, meaning the showcase that did announce Sonic, and that would be like they're adding Evangelion and Godzilla to the racing game. Yeah, which I'm like, wow.
To freaking crossworlds.
So
wow.
When it comes to the Summer Game Fest this year, is there any game that stood out to you that got you excited for games that are coming out? I have a handful of them. But if you want me to go first, I'll give you my handful.
Well, I was surprised with a couple, but it didn't really make me jump out of my seat.
Okay. Which ones were those?
Well, the Wolverine was one of them.
Oh, no, it didn't show anything that's on Game Fest for that one. That was the State of Play.
Then...
Okay. So, Corn, what about you?
I mean, there are a couple games, but I guess you're gonna leave the big one for the end, so I won't.
No.
But,
you can no. What games made you drool?
I mean, I'll be honest. I haven't played the game originally, the Resident Evil Veronica. It's coming out with the remake. I thought the way that they did the trailer for it was really, really interesting. Like how to start that story, and like you have the little old lady, and it's so sweet, and it just kind of like takes you, and then like you see her, and you're like, oh, okay, this is about to be a different type of story. Like first you think you're gonna come in, and this guy's like missing, he's a hoarder, and you're like, oh, there's a reason why he's missing. So I'm actually curious to see what the story is. You know me and my love-hate relationship with Resident Evil. You know. Maybe this will be the game that turns it around. Will I ever complete 4? No. But, maybe it's a fun one to watch and look out for. So I
there we
will
go.
Look at that. I thought that I hadn't played like a lot of like the Cuphead games, but I thought it was like a cute in concept, and that's more like play like multiplayer. So I'm interested to see. It was interesting how they did the trailer for that. The other one that I did like was Wolf Among Us 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Wolf Among Us 2, first game was great. Watching it was great. Seeing that like they've kept like so the characters that you can keep, and then to see how like the story's gonna develop with it. I'm excited to see. I love the way that the game has always looked, and the way that it played before was great. So I'm interested to see how they take those and kind of refresh it and make new and bring new things to the game, because it was such like a really like cool looking game with like the concept, and now we get to have a part 2. And then we already know the big one that we're excited for.
That y'all excited for?
Oh, I'm excited for. Once I finish Rebirth, I'm
excited for that one. I thought you were going to talk to somebody else. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no. Yeah.
Oh, that's
there
State of
was-
Play. Sorry, that's State of Play. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah. The last announcement was amazing. Okay, so Complex, you back, or are you still? Okay, so she's still busy. So for me, the handful. Oh well, okay. So the handful game, the Code Veronica, the remake. Yes, I knew it was from the trailer I saw. Watch, I knew it was, and then when the old lady mentioned Boulder, I was like, yeah, that's Resident Evil. But I thought originally it was going to be a 9 DLC because they were talking about that. So it caught me off guard that it was a remake. But Code Veronica is one of the first Resident Evil games that I actually really played besides 4 of the old school games, and I actually did enjoy it. Now, granted, my only time of beating it was based off the Dark Side Chronicles game, which doesn't count to true hardcore Resident Evil fans. But for me, I was like, listen, it gave me the story, it gave me the meat and potatoes for Resident Evil, and cut the fat. I'm fine with that, but I do want to try out the remake. Revelations of Final Fantasy VII, yes, I'm excited for it. I need to beat Rebirth so I can continue on the story. I noticed a certain character wasn't in the trailer, and I need to play Rebirth to find out why this character wasn't there. I know the story, I know what happens, but I want to know what happened to that person in Rebirth, if anything. The Stellar Blade sequel, well, the new entry, Stellar Blade, looks amazing because the fact that they took away her sword and they gave her a hand. They made the character give hands now. So and then she ducks and weaves. She bobs and weaves. And I'm like, yes, I need to play this.
But she looks too much like a kid.
Yeah.
Why does she look like she's 12 years old?
Computer. I may be buying Virtua Fighter this year because that Virtua Fighter story mode looks fun as hell.
They're actually giving that dang game an actual story.
Yes.
Because from Virtua Fighters 1 to 5, nobody gave a shit about the freaking story.
No.
Because the story was not even told at all. You only freaking know about it from like the freaking instruction manual.
Yeah.
And even then, they only make like bits and pieces of some sort of I freaking forgot. That's how much they cared about the story.
Yeah.
Now that they are actually doing something about it.
Yeah. But also Virtua Fighter, because the story mode looks interesting with the fact that they're turning it into a brawler, which is like Yakuza, which I'm fine with that. The Last Ronin, the Ninja Turtles game, it's being made by Platinum, but it's made by Platinum outside of the original creators. I mean, the original makers, Platinum is gone, so I don't know. And then the Gundam game looks fun. And then Stranger Than Heaven having Tupac is what shocked me. So, and then Star Wars Galactic Racer almost got me to buy it because the fact that it's technically space burnout. Yeah, you can crash the cars. I'm like, yeah. I almost went day one buy, but I'm gonna maintain myself. But it's a lot of games. I mean, do you feel okay? So when it comes to the Summer Game Fest in general, do you feel like it was a long Game Fest? Like I know it was like 2 hours, right? Do you feel like
it went by like that?
Yeah. Because it did. Because when they mentioned about the Street Fighter 4 character pack, that one is like, oh, okay, cool. So we finally getting Tifa in Street Fighter 6, which I almost bought pack 2 and 3, year 2 and 3 to just be ready for 4. So because I'm not a Street Fighter guy, but I want to play. I want to see what Tifa brings to the table. Funny thing about Street Fighter 6 DLC trailer, a certain streamer was watching the showcase, fell asleep during the entire.
Next.
No, I gotta say this. During the entire.
I know. Next.
No, you know. It's like that you know, but nobody else maybe not know. But he fell asleep.
They don't need to know.
They do need to know because it's hilarious. It's hilarious. All right, fine. It's hilarious, by the way. Fell asleep, woke up, then asked me, "Oh, did they show the showcase?" Anyway, but I kind of asked with the other questions. What? Okay, out of all the games I mentioned and games that was put out there, is there anything that looked good to you that you felt like okay? I'm talking about Low Tier God. That's that he fell asleep on the thing. Is there any game that look good, but just still have you cautious about it? That makes you go, okay, it looks interesting, but I'm gonna see more. I want to see more gameplay before I decide to buy.
I want to save that for the last subject.
Okay. What about you, Uncorn?
Well, from what I've seen, I haven't played the games. I've only watched you and some other people play the Stellar Blade, the first one, but Blood Rain, it looks like it's gonna be a pretty game. I know
Still
it
need
has
to
like a
play the
target
first one.
audience, and that's kind of why I'm a little cautious about the game because I feel like with them kind of sexualizing the characters and the clothing that they put them in, and I want them to focus more so on like the fighting and the world around them than what the characters look like while fighting and wearing like white onesies that are tight fitting and all kinds of stuff. So like I get it, there's an audience. I get it. I understand. I get it. But it's more like how deep of the story are you really gonna like give us? So I have to go back and rewatch and see Stellar Blade, the first one, and then see how maybe then Blood Rain will relate to both. I'm not casting it aside yet, but I'm a little cautious.
There's nothing wrong with a little cheek. All right. And then also with the Stellar Blade, you can change her costume. I know the original game did the same thing where she did have skin tight outfits, and then she also had outfits that were just that was sweaters and stuff like that. Made it look cute. You can actually doll her up and make it look nice.
Okay. All right.
But as a guy, I do like looking at some ass while I'm running in a game. But
we have needs and we have standards.
Yes.
And we will live up to them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think that censoring it is going to help, thank God it's going on PC where mods are mods. So, when Stellar Blade went to PC last year, the mods went modding, and it was
even
glorious.
The creator himself wanted to try them out.
Yes. Shout out to that creator. And
that is why that person is our new best friend.
Yes. Because even the fact that even going back to that game, when it comes to they complain about the model, people try to say, oh, there's no woman that has that figure. And the actual model that had the same body type came out and says, yes, I'm the model of the character, shutting them the fuck up. Which once again, shout out to Stellar Blade. Okay. So I'm gonna be psychic here, and I'm gonna say, hey, Complex, what game stood out to you for the Sony, for the Summer Game Fest? And if she may answer, that'd be crazy. I don't know. I'm be psychic here.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
Oh my God, I'm a psychic.
Okay,
it's Puff Puff Pass.
Make sure you pass.
Yes, no, everybody loves TNA, right? But yeah, but I feel like with Celebrate, I'm gonna enjoy that game. But I'm really looking forward to I want to see more of the last Ronin. I want to see it because I've been hearing so much about that story and who the last turtle is and how they got to that point, and it's going to be supposed to be a gritty game, and the fact that Platinum Games is making it, so it's going to be more of you got good combos, you're going to get graded for it, and I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah. But her armor, that's all she is. Skin. Yep, that's true. That's true. With Samus, pretty much Samus had a skin tight suit. No one bitched about it when you play her in Smash Brothers.
Good. The game's good. The game's for good little boys and girls. My ass.
Yeah, but okay. So
I'm back. Saw.
Oh, Saw. Yeah.
I only want to play it because it's 1v4. So one person plays the killer, and I'm like, okay, yeah.
That was one of the games that I was actually, because I think I sent it to you or something like that. But I think I did mention it. Yeah, like Saw Genesis is one of the games that I definitely will. If they do like a beta before, so you can get a feel of it, because you don't want it to be like. What was the one with the wolves for Square Enix? What was the one with the wolves and the lambs? What was Killer End? Killer End, sorry. Stupid. You don't want it to be like Killer End where you enjoy it, but then for some reason when the game releases, your expectations of what you have for the game and what you played, it dramatically dips. Like you can't play it for a long time It has
Yeah.
to be like where you play like 2 or 3 matches and you hop off and you visit it next week or something like that. I don't want this game to be like that. I want it to almost be like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like where you could continuously play it and get enjoyment from it.
Yeah, because they're making a Halloween game too with Michael Myers, and I'm looking forward to that. Like, oh my god, yeah, I can't wait. But the sword one, yes, it's supposed to be one person is the mastermind, and and then you play as the 4 people who's go out there trying to solve the traps, try to get through. Now, I think there's a beta coming out for it, so you can play test it. I think I'm gonna jump on that and see what's going on, and then see if I can kill my friends in game.
They do have an early access. It's not available right now, but it's in development.
Okay. So, do you feel like like I said, I go back to the event. You said Shadowfox mentioned earlier. Do you feel like the event went too long, or was it just right?
Like the what?
Like the event in total was. You said it was too. You say it was like it went just like that. But do you feel like it was too long? I'm not asking anybody else.
I didn't.
Yeah.
No, me neither. But like it's like, you know how nowadays a couple of hours could seem like a couple of minutes. That's what that event was. That's what it felt like.
That's what my Sunday felt like. Yeah, that's true. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'll ask one more question. Did the showcase of that came out today? Did it excite you for gaming for the rest of the year?
No, I feel the same way.
Damn.
I feel like the way I feel about Marvel movies now, right? Like I don't put expectations on things. Like I feel like it's gonna be what it's gonna be, and to an extent, nothing I can say and or do is going to change that. So when the final product comes out, it's either it's for you or it's not, or you enjoy it or you don't. So like that's the way like I'm starting to get the attitude towards games. I don't necessarily believe that. I don't think that it's not an indifference that I have towards it, but it's just that like I don't want to be so riled up about it that it clouds my reasoning, like to be objective. Like
Okay. All right.
As a consumer.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons why I didn't really set my standards and my expectations too high for this year. Okay. I mean, there were some games that made me raise an eyebrow a bit, but unfortunately, that was just it. I mean, there wasn't that many games that made me want to go freaking put in my chair and be like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Unfortunately, no. It was just
there.
It was just there, and that was it.
Okay. So, all right. I mean, that's okay. So now, moving on to a different topic here, we're gonna go to moving on to Corn's favorite topic, and that is horror games and single player conversions. So horror is everywhere again. Mostly in the indies. You got the Resident Evil, you got the Silent Hills, you got the Aliens. Alien Evolution. What the fuck is it called? Isolation. Sorry, Alien Isolation 2, which you're finally getting a sequel for. The psychological horrors. You got the body horrors like Ill. You got definitely the stranger indie projects. But at the same time, we have the single player games that are coming out. And like I said, we just had one recently with James Bond 007, First Light. And like I would say like are we in terms of like those type of games, the single player and the horror games, do you feel like we're in the golden age of horror games, or you think that has passed?
I believe it's at its peak.
It's peak?
I believe it's at its peak because left and right streamers, players, you can see it through the reviews on Steam. You can see it through what people are streaming. They're streaming horror co-op games that are fun, that you get replayability from, even if it's the same thing over and over. Like it's fun because you're doing it with other people, and that's why I love co-op itself. So like, even though like I wouldn't really say, I would say Among Us is like psychological thriller, if I had to put it somewhere. That's like in the horror genre, subgenres of horror. I would say that that's when, and it's fun, even though it's the same thing. It's just somebody else might be the killer, but it's the same logic. You go around the map, you do tasks, somebody dies, you figure out who it is. But it's fun because you have people to bounce off of, and I feel like that's what's so fun about, especially co-op horror games. Like even the single player, like it's fun, especially like if you stream it and you get people's input in the chat, it makes the experience different than if you were just sitting there by yourself and just playing the game. Even though it can be enjoyable, like let's look at Resident Evil. We don't even think showcase Resident Evil Veronica.
Yes.
Looks fucking amazing. It looks better than Requiem.
Whoa.
Graphically, it looks better. It could be because of all the lighting we were getting, but I'm just saying, like it looks, for some reason it looks better, and I'm excited for that because I actually never played Resident Evil Code Veronica before, so that would be something different for me that I would enjoy. But I think it's definitely at its peak with all these indie companies that are making horror games, and like Repo, what's the other one we played in the mansion with the lamps
Devoured?
and stuff? Devoured.
Yes.
Outlast Trials. It's like so many horror games that are getting shine, like whether it be through streamers or single players. People are really enjoying horror.
The horror game I'll be playing with Chaz on Tuesday.
Have fun. I know how much you love your horror games.
No.
I think it makes it like more like bearable to play the games for people that maybe aren't big horror fans. Like I was not a horror fan, as you know, I'm really not. But I have the most fun playing, I realize too, when I play with others in the game versus when I have to be like play by myself. Like when I have to play Resident Evil by myself, I'm scared to death and I don't want to do anything. I don't want to move. I don't want to pick up bullets. I don't want to figure out the next thing unless like I have other people there. But when
you want to be
have
carried.
Other people, sure. But when you have other people, like when we play Devour and we play like the other games, like it's a lot more fun because like you get those breaks between like being scared and like that moment to laugh because something funny happened or someone made a comment, and like it gives you a bit of a break. So if you're looking for like straight horror and you'll be scared the entire time, I get it. That's why you would want to go single player, but it's definitely a lot more fun playing co-op.
I was like the Michael Jackson game and the Michael Jackson horror game. We had fun on that one.
We did.
Stop playing your Switch.
I'm not playing Switch. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
then what are you doing?
I am actually having a conversation with you guys talking about horror games. And I'm trying to think
No,
of
you're
horror
not.
games.
I hear it clicking.
What are you talking about? What? No.
That's Shadowfox.
No. What are you
I'm
talking
not
about?
playing a dang thing either.
Then who's over here clicking buttons and stuff?
I don't know. That's weird. That's so weird. That's so weird.
You look at the comment. Hold on, God. Turn the lights off. Shut all the windows and put in Dead Space.
Oh no!
What?
Wait, didn't Chaz do that?
Oh no!
I would do that. I would do that because I love Dead Space. So I would do that. I know it's going to be. Listen, when I'm telling you right now, I can. HR focus. I am focused. What are you talking about? I'm not. No, when it comes to Dead Space, right? Dead Space is a single player horror game, and Dead Space was more popular when it was more single player. The least popular game in the series was 3, and because they added co-op, they went Resident Evil 5, and you don't go full Resident Evil 5.
You never go full Resident Evil 5.
You never go full Resident Evil. No, so you don't go Resident Evil 6. I'm sorry, Resident Evil 5 was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Someone actually said 6 was better than 5.
Okay, they be freebasing in their spare time, so
yeah, they do. I'm safe, but when it comes to horror games, like you said, you mentioned, I was listening. It is fun when you play with friends, and then you have that one friend when you close the door on them, and then let the creature grab them, and goes no.
You guys are doing immediately.
Yeah, so I don't know who did that to a friend, but it was funny when it happened to them.
Oh boy.
Or you keep shutting doors while people are opening them.
Because I don't want that fucker to get me. That's why. Hell no. But Devour is a fun game, and then Outlast Trials is also a fun game when you have two friends that want to hide in trash cans and watching me and Complex get fucking murdered. But we don't go into that. I'm down and I watched my friend get her eyes like yanked out her face.
You also ran off, so that's your fault.
It was not. What was he gonna do?
No, I'm saying when he ran off to start the game and he ran into the whatever.
Oh yeah, it was my fault that the thing started, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You ran and triggered it. So Chaz not id.
But yeah, but Dead Space, yeah, but her and Dead Space is together. But like, okay, so then besides taking the multiplayer out of it, let's focus on single player. What does make a horror game genuinely scary in terms of like I'm gonna ask Colin this one, but what makes a horror game scary?
I know when it's like scary when I get like this feeling in the pit of my stomach. That's like okay, please don't start this.
What?
Stop. That's like when it's like actually terrifying. You can feel it in your body. Stop. That's when like the horror game is like getting good. Like when there's breaks, it's not everything scary. When there's like little like Easter eggs like shooting water and then things jump out at you. And like just little things, or you walk in and then there's like a zombie in a shed and it scares the absolute crap out of you. Like things like that is like great for making like the whole horror aspect of it when you play a single player game. Mm-hmm. But it's like when you have certain games that go like back to back to back to back, it's like, oh my god, I just need a break. I just need to put the controller down. I can't touch it. My brain is freezing up.
Surprisingly,
no, go ahead.
When it comes to horror games, in terms of like, think about it. Just recently, I played a game called it's called Phasebreaker. It's a indie horror game, but it plays like old school Resident Evil. Let me see what it. Sorry, it's Pulsebreaker. Sorry, and it literally plays like old school Resident Evil. Like what I mean is like you run around, you aim a gun, shoot, you stand in one place, and I actually enjoyed that. And I'm not a big fan of the old school Resident Evil games. I know Nova will probably shake his head. He's not here right now. Who cares? So, but I actually do look forward to playing it, and also like Phase Zero. Phase Zero has that old school like Resident Evil, like you're in close in enclosure, and you have zombies coming out of rooms and shit. But I think with Phase Zero, the shooting mechanic in that game was so much better. Like in terms of like enemies got hit, they got hit.
I would say I'm gonna reference Resident Evil again because that's what like horror game I grew up on. Mm-hmm. The first time there's two specific times that like I was a little shaken in my boots, right? Mm-hmm. So the first time I really felt like that anxiety of like, oh my god, like I don't know if I want to shut up. The first time I met OJ, look at this guy. Somebody packed him up. So anyways, it was when I played the Resident Evil remake on the GameCube.
Those guys, really?
And that one, it was because it was more of an experience that made it was like the first one, but then it wasn't. Like enemies weren't where they always were. So it was this anticipation of like, oh my god, am I gonna turn? Like it was the thing where you turned the corner and it lunged at you, and you're like, oh my god, like where did you come from? It's not like when you start getting to like 4 where it's just come on, like shoot them up type stuff. It was more of like you don't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I had a different experience with Resident Evil 3, not the remake, but the original one.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 3 gave you an enemy that you was in a way unbeatable. It gave you Nemesis. The character, like, you can injure him or you can like literally run for your fucking life. Like, and so it was more of that. It was more of like, it was an unbeatable character. Yeah, you would down him, but like as the story progressed, like 10, 15 minutes in, you would run into him again. So it was almost like he was this unbeatable character, this impenetrable force that would come after you. So now when you hear stars, you start, that's why stars sticks with people. And people say it the same way Nemesis does, because you would have to run for your life. And it was this sense of dread and fear. Like, oh my God, like you can run, keep going through doors and get away from him, find a safe room. But sometimes he'll be right outside the safe room down the hall. And then you'd be like, oh my God, I got to keep running. And so it was that type of like anxiety driven fear per se with Resident Evil 3.
That's how I feel about 4. because like I know I make jokes about it with and bother Corn about it when we play certain games, but like the haunting, the chanting that they do in 4, that one sticks with me. The Woody of the day. Yeah, that one. And like, yeah, that stuck with me for a while. But like, that's the thing. Okay, all right. But you know, getting off of Corn's favorite topic a little bit when it comes to the other side of it, the single player games in general too. Do you feel like single player games are back now? Because I know a lot of times now, most games are either live service games or multiplayer games. How do you feel like single player games are finally making a rise?
That's a tough question to answer right now. I mean, we do got Wolverine and we do got the other one, but
okay. Then when we ask a better question, do you feel like are you tired of live service games at once now?
I don't. You start because I don't really know.
Okay, so you know what live service games are, like games like Fortnite and like
I feel like people wouldn't know what to do if they went away. That's why it's hard to answer because a lot of times like I feel like people wouldn't know what to do if live service games went away. And then it's almost kind of like you kind of don't want live service games. You kind of want just standalone games and like let them just put DLC or whatever out later or add-ons that are like you don't have to pay for. Well, that would be ideal, but you know. But like add-ons you don't have to pay for later on and stuff like that. But then it comes times when live service games are a lot better. And it all depends on like in horror, it's not really needed. But in certain single player games, it might be to keep shaping the world dynamic that they have or that they built. It may need to be continuously updated.
Okay. Right. Corn, Trevor?
I don't do horror.
No, I mean single player and live service games. Like, do you feel like No, not horror, but like in terms of that, like live service games. I know like a lot of games now. Would you consider like Street Fighter like a live service game because it's like it's always online and you can't you can play offline, but it's like you need to be online to get the most fun out of it. And like a Fortnite, you need to be online. You can't play that offline. And you have games like that.
I know that feeling all too well.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Would I consider it a live service game? Damn. Now that the way that you have explained it, I would have to say yeah then.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. It's like a lot of games that come out now. It's like, you know, the majority of the games that come out, it's mostly shooters or like games like what you call it, Genshin Impact and Wandering like Hills or whatever the fuck that game is, Wandering Winds or When the Winds Meet stuff. Games like that. Those are like live service games. And they're free to play, but you got the heavy microtransactions. Like Final Fantasy 14 is a live service game because you can't play that game offline. And I refuse to buy it on Steam because I feel like I'm gonna waste $50. I mean, $19 on that. You know, what about your Corn?
I feel like it holds a space for the people that want and need that connection from other people. Like especially after we went through the pandy and all the things, like a lot of people realize that that's where they found like community and being with others. So if that was to go away, I think it would hurt a lot of people. I think that since the world opened back up and we're getting adjusted back to our new normal, more people are starting to go back to single player games or but I think that definitely during that time period helped a lot of people be able to interact with others while we were in that kind of a gray area for a while. And so, but I don't like games that require you to buy the game and then have the microtransactions and then have to keep buying in order to do it. But I think it's more so people will play those games for the community aspect rather than just the story itself.
So, side note, Chaz, it was me putting the Switch away. I was putting it away. I don't have it anymore. It's not in front of me. I'm playing Xbox now. But no, I understand. Okay, so when it comes to so horror and like horror and single player, they go hand in hand in the live service games. Arc Raiders is a live service game. and I'm gonna be careful saying that out loud because we don't want Compass come back and talk and they talking to us for 30 minutes without that. But yeah, it's fine. But I kind of like I do enjoy a good single player game. Like I did enjoy, like I keep mentioning it tonight again. But like First Light, I did enjoy that game when it was like fun. It does have a live service kind of vibe with it, especially with the tech sim. But it's more of just like with the leaderboard and the way the things you can do with that thing where you can add more missions. One person made a good idea that you can do old Bond movies and use it as missions in the game, which I'm like, yeah, I can fuck with this heavy. But sticking on single player, we're now going to talk about something that we brought up we kind of like dipped and dabbed around it, but going back to the God of War game. So they have the new character. It's not the new God of War game is not going to have Kratos. It's going to have his wife. Someone that since I really didn't play the new series, I don't know much about, but I know that from what people heard that they have mentioned her along the way and during his journey in those two games in God of War and Ragnarok. And now this game is going to her side of it. Put the control in the bag, but
no, I said pack it up.
Yeah, but there's a divide with the community. No, I got the reference. Because Baka says to me all the time, so I definitely get the reference. So when it comes to move on to something else, but or nobody want to hear that. But when it comes to the God of War, the people are complaining about the fact that the lead character is different from Kratos, and they're like, oh God, why? Who cares about his wife? And da da da. Shut up! I'm here. I knew your cornball ass was here. From a character and story perspective, do you feel like the main character Faye, do she deserve to have her own game?
Do you want to go first? Or do you want me?
What?
I was saying, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go?
I feel like she should have her own story. I feel like why not? I feel like he's the reason he's even running into the Greek gods. Am I lying?
No. Change the subject.
Well, not even Greek. It's not Greek. It's Norse mythology. So the Norse god.
Yeah.
Thor.
Oh.
Odin. He's the reason she's running into them because she connects those two worlds. So it's a different story. That's like saying like, why are they gonna give Atreus boy a story? He was only introduced in one the same way she was introduced, but you technically didn't see her. You've heard mentions of her and things being spoken of her and stuff like that. But she's just as important to the story as Atreus is, as Kratos is. This is not a story of like Greek mythology. This is a story of Norse mythology. So, excuse me. So it's just like she is just as important as any other character, especially if she can build on the lore, because there's a lore that's built around her as well in the story, with her not even being there. So now you can get the full experience of what life was like. Maybe she'll have flashbacks to see like what life was like with Kratos, like and things like that, and then like where she's from. And I think it's something about the giants or something like that. I don't want to ruin it for anybody.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, it's her story to tell. Now it's all about how they tell it.
Yeah. So when it comes to, like, you mentioned about the Greek gods, you don't have to worry about them. They're never coming back again, because after the original games, because Kratos made sure of that. Like he laid waste to all them sons of bitches and titans. So now they went to the Nordic gods, and that's when in the remake, and then they think they're supposed to go somewhere else, and think this game is supposed to lead into a whole new series. And I think, okay. Do you feel like with this game they're making, do you feel like they're gonna just do a complete spinoff with just her being the main lead, or do you feel like they're gonna?
I feel like that's what it's gonna be. She's in the title.
Well, I mean, it could just be for the spinoff game, because remember they did Miles Morales, and that was his own game, but he didn't end up coming back to Spider-Man 2. But like, they do something like that with her, where instead of just like her branching off to her own thing, I know she's in the afterlife and she wants to come. I think the main part of the game is for her to come back to Kratos. But I don't know.
I think it's
Let somebody.
gonna.
No, sorry. I was gonna say I need to look up a story that's from mythology that I wanted to connect it to.
Okay.
I think it's Orpheus that I'm thinking of, but I'm gonna look it up.
But Corn, as you were saying,
Okay, so the way that I'm thinking about this game and what it will end up being is that I think in a weird way they're trying to show us that like in death when you leave someone that you care about, there's still like the person may feel like there's still unfinished business. Like I know in the trailer she talks about how like she didn't get to say goodbye to them, and I found it so interesting that like her first thing when she awakens is that she's looking for Trace and looking for Kratos, and like just to see that like in that moment that she's taken away like out of life, that like her brain is still focused on what made her life whole in a way. And so that was really touching to see. And you know, her even going back to when she sees him, like a shape of him, and it comes. It's go ahead.
No. All I was gonna say was, well, they kind of explained that in a cutscene. A fan kind of brought that, but it was one part where he goes into like and during Ragnarok, he gets pushed into a portal and he sees her, but then his son pulls him out and he's like, no. So it could have been the same time he helped her up when that happened. Yeah. That's what you're trying to compare those two parts. And that's just my little knowledge of it.
Yeah, I think too with having Faye have her own story, you know, it means a lot in the world of God of War and with Kratos' story, because like before in the other games, like he was just like hard, like, you know, didn't care. And then in Ragnarok, you see his more caring side, and then you see how he's with Atreus and everything, and everyone's kind of like to a degree slightly confused, but then you realize like parenthood changes you. And I know I'm not a parent myself, but I've dealt with a lot of parents, and I know people like it does change you. So it makes you a softer being of who you used to be and what your priorities and it shifts. And to see how Faye played such a role in that change for Kratos, like that's really gonna like I really hope they do like what Kurosaki said, like the flashbacks to see like what their life was like, because we get a taste, but it's like not enough. So you really get to see it. And I think it's cool too to see how her play style and how she fights compared to Kratos. Like we're kind of like given a little bit of a taste of it with Atreus, with like the fact that she's like a faster, she's more agile, and like she's smaller, but she's quick and she's also powerful. So we see that we get through Atreus in a way. And so now playing her in the game, like even just the way like her jumping and like the movements that she makes, like the femininity in that, I think is just really cool to see how they're gonna balance her in this game.
That train's gonna get this shit away from the mic.
Oh, okay.
So, with the game, right? Do you feel like the new God of War game can like? I know I mentioned earlier. Do you feel like it can stand on its own 2 feet? Do you feel like Kratos need to be there in order to hold that game? Do you feel like she can? Do you feel the game can carry on its own weight with that character? With Faye.
I think he needs to be there as like a memory, so we know why she's going through this, but he doesn't probably need to be there to like fight, because we've seen him in his growth and what he went through to get his son to where he is now. And so now seeing kind of her journey through that whole time will be interesting. So I don't think we need him. It's going to be very nice to see him. It's going to bring back a lot of emotions and bring up new feelings that we really didn't realize that we had for them as a family unit.
Yeah.
But I think that the game will stand alone. That's one game I'm excited to see how it does.
Okay, so do you feel like when that going to the part 2 of that question is, do you feel like if this game end, they're about to give it the deal with $20 sale next season? Yeah, facts. But do you feel like when it comes to Laufey, I think that's what it's called, do you feel like if like this is the end of Kratos' story, like Kratos is done, and then they move forward, do you see her? I know I kind of asked this before, but do you see these franchises continuing on with just her?
No, not with just her, because her story is going to have to end when she finally crosses over and accepts that she's dead. They can't she has to accept it at some point, and that's kind of like the stages of grief.
Or
she can woman boss and be like, I'm never dead, and just break through.
Because go ahead.
That'd be cool.
No, the only thing I was gonna say is in terms of the God of War, death never stopped the character from kicking that ass. Because Kratos died 3 times in God of War, and he died almost every game. He died literally twice in God of War 1, came back from Hades, died again deliberately, came back, died again twice in fucking God of War 3. Like him and Death was just best of fucking friends. So it's possible they can come back to life, but I don't know. Like for me personally, I don't, like I said, I said what I said earlier when it comes to the God of War game. I'm not a big fan of the new versions of it. So it's just not for me. I'm not saying that it's going to be a trash ass game. I'm not saying that. It's just I don't have interest in buying it, so I can care less about the character. That's my thing.
Like, so I was just doing a little bit of a little bit because I wanted to. There was a story with Orpheus, and I wanted to make sure like I was getting the name right. In Greek mythology, there's a story about Orpheus when he goes to hell, right, to get his wife.
Yeah,
and he goes there, and his rulers do not look back. So like he glances back, and then like pulls his wife back into hell. Like he had to like go in front of her and lead her out of hell. Well, Hades, whatever it was you want to hell, basically. And so I'm thinking like, would halfway through the story, would that be something that Kratos will appear and tries to bring his wife out of Everworld? Because Everwind, that's where she's at, and it's like the source of like where all magic returns. And so, because I wanted to know, I know that they mentioned that she was a frost god, so that's why a frost giant. That's what I wanted to do that homework and go back and reference that. So she is a warrior. So she was a fighter before she met him, and then they fought a battle and they fell in love and blah 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 blah. So my whole thing was like, so we know that she's capable, and I feel like because we know that she's capable, we know that she forged his axe. So she forced his axe to counter Thor's hammer. That was something that I read because I have Ragnarok, but I have not played it, so that's why I don't want to miss important stuff that's going to bleed into God of War. So I just feel like we know that she's a formidable character, and I don't want it to be like, like they go back and they do these flashbacks, and it's all like, it's almost like it changes your perception of Kratos. Like, Kratos is a big teddy bear when he's with his wife. I don't want it to do that. I want him to still be the same way, for him to still be stoic and stuff like that, even with his wife. He can have gentle eyes and do gentle gestures, but I don't really want it to change the dynamic of like how we know him as a character, because then it's going to be all these stories. Oh, look, they got Kratos whipped and all this crazy nonsense. And so, because you know how the fandom starts going crazy, foaming at the mouth.
Glad you mentioned that. Yeah.
And so I don't want any of that, and I want her to go for blood because she's a warrior first, right? She's a warrior first, a mom second, and a wife third. So I want her to go for blood. Like, I don't want her to pull any punches, spare anybody. You can have a sensitive heart, but it seems to me, if she was fighting Kratos, it seems to me that she knows when to extend a hand and when not to.
So trying to like more talk about, I mean, I understand, like I get that. And then, like I said, the game does well. Because I know even on the PlayStation, I know they showed a trailer and people put a bunch of comments on there, and I said the same thing I've been saying all night here. I'm not a big fan of the reboot series, but I said if it does well, it does well. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Oh well, it doesn't make a difference to me. It does fine. But does anybody else have anything to say about the God of War more into before we move over to the part 2 to this conversation?
No.
God damn it! But champions, sorry, but this game did also kind of like lead to the next topic, which is the trailer reaction culture and the streamers. Every trailer, every major trailer now has creates creates a reaction. Streamers react. Someone clips the reaction, put it on social media, reacts to it, and it's long before like nobody talks about the actual game. It's just more about they see this. Oh, they put a woman in this game. It's gonna it's gonna be bad. You know what? I used to talk like that too, kind of, but then it's more of a sense of it's not about the fact that they put the woman in the game. It's more the fact that it doesn't feel organic. It's not like you're putting her there to kind of like move the story along. It's just like you're just doing it just because you place them there. It doesn't feel organic. So a lot of times,
is that how you feel?
Out of it. Yes, I feel like it's not organically
placed. In this God of War setting.
Oh no! This one, like I said, I didn't care less. Like they already established her in the story. It's not like she just prompt her in there like here she is. This is a character you know nothing about. She's a new character now. Go fuck yourself. It's not that here. It's a little different.
But how are you establishing that question? I'm confused. Are you saying it for remakes or continuations of games, or are you saying that in games in general? That's what I'm confused about.
Well, okay, so like perfect example, Last of Us. With Last of Us Part 2, with Abby. Abby was not a character that was established in the previous story. She was shoehorned in the sequel, and then saying that, the only way she's connected with the game is because the doctor that we knew nothing about, Joel killed the doctor, so she wants revenge. And then now we got to play as her. It wasn't like, it's not organic. It's not like, it wasn't like she was properly put in, and then it's just like the last game. You see her in the beginning of the last game, like, I'm gonna get my revenge on this fucker for killing my dad. Like it was just shoehorned in the sequel. That something like that. Now, God of War, like I mentioned, she was characters that was put in already. Like she was already established about who she was, even though it was more like through text and everything like that. But we still knew who she was. If that makes more sense.
I feel like it's all misogynistic. People with, can I say words on here?
You said the words.
Speak freely.
Yeah.
Because these oh god, the human race that has a penis, like they just oh my god, they be doing the most. Like it's always them. Like that's my whole problem. Like it's always them, and it doesn't become like all men and women. And it's like a battle. It's never that, because at the end of the day, I play games with male characters and don't even talk about, I wish she was a female. Like I don't have those type of conversations. I don't say it, like it doesn't matter. But for some reason, once you go and make a character female or a lead, we'll say a character, main character, in anything, it becomes this big debate. It becomes like, it's lame, or she's not hot enough. Like, Kratos is far from being fucking hot, and we still play him as a character, or are they sexually attracted to him? I'm confused. I don't understand what's the logic behind it. Like, they got to be like, y'all on some edgelord type stuff, and I'm just like confused.
Yeah. So So with that, right? I don't, like I said, I mentioned, going back to what I said earlier, I don't mind. There's plenty of female characters out there that I love playing their games. Beyond Good and Evil, Mirror's Edge, freaking the old school Tomb Raiders. Like they're Bayonetta. Thank you.
Bayonetta was fine.
Yeah, there's plenty of characters that's established in there that had the sex appeal and everything like that. That's fine, but they kicked a bunch of ass. Like Fate, and Mirror's Edge. Fate was she didn't have, like, you couldn't see her, but she kicked ass. I mean, shout out to that shitty ass prequel, but she was a established character. Beyond Good and Evil with Jade, she was a cameraman. She didn't have sex appeal, but she was a badass character. Like, so but the character's also established in the world. It's just also the story writing too. That's why I kind of feel like the shoehorning, that you have to have good storytelling that bring a character that you're gonna like. I don't mind who the main character is, as long as they're likable and you can relate and you can actually feel their story. You want to pull through for them for their story. That's the main part for me.
Yeah, but those are also like games that you discuss and you talk about the whole philosophy behind the game and how it's played and how they kick ass. But then you're going, like, men in general are going like Google Gaga for like Stellar Blade, and like other games where like the women are barely dressed and things like that. So I mean, it's like, I get it that they're trying to appeal to audiences by having women look a certain way in certain games, but it's like the men who then are like up in arms about there being a female lead character, but she's not sexualized immediately in like a way. and they have such a problem with it, it's like, what's your problem? Can you not enjoy a story? Are you really that hooked on just looks that you can't actually appreciate a game for what the developers wanted you to see in the game?
No, because they want to
Okay.
play the game one-handed. That's why.
It's a balance.
Well, there's a balance, but wait, hold on.
There
First of
isn't
all-
a balance because
What do you
nobody
mean
they
there's a
don't
balance?
even know they don't even know really what the whole story about God of War Laufey is about. And the first thing they talk about is how this chick is ugly. So y'all have to miss me with that. Y'all being disingenuous because y'all already know y'all talking from your own perspective, but that's not the conversation that we're having. We're talking about these trash dudes that go on these Reddit posts and start talking about, oh, how she's not attractive. Why is a woman a lead? There's no difference than the new Power Rangers that they were supposed to be releasing, and they were talking about it was going to be a female lead. Everybody up in arms.
Oh yeah,
but obviously
yeah,
people
yeah.
don't remember back when they had Power Rangers. When they think it was what was it? Was it the Aqua Rangers and the
Yeah, it was
The leader
White
was
Ranger
a female.
was a female, and she
No
was the main
one gave a
person.
shit.
Nobody did. Yeah.
And that isn't Zordon. Isn't his crew? Was it one of the a female lead? When Zordon
I'm not
was the
sure,
Power, it was something. I remember one of the flashbacks from an older race of Rangers. They it was so my whole thing is like it becomes disingenuous because I understand what y'all saying from your own perspective, but the general dialogue behind it becomes this chick is not attractive. Oh, it's going to be trash because it's a chick in there, or it's going to be trash because it's a chick in there and she's not attractive. They don't care about the story. They don't care about the graphics. It's late, yeah, it might be, but I'm just saying the dialogue people are having, it seems very just short-sighted on their part. Like, oh, well, it's a female, and it's just like, okay, but didn't y'all play cool?
Yeah.
Look, King Kirk just said that.
Yeah. But see, here's the thing. There's layers to that because the thing about it, they are in certain things when it comes to like they know that the term sex sells, right? But so the thing about it is they're trying to focus on.
Oh shit! Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah.
I know.
No, in the chat, don't even get me started on that. That was a I played. That is the nutshell right there.
Oof.
That's the nutshell right there. I'm sorry. I'm gonna interrupt you.
They touched on slavery in that one. I'm like, you better leave that alone.
Liberation. This game was for the PlayStation Vita. I bought this game. This was the last Assassin's Creed game I ever played. This game was about, slavery and, looking down on black people, X, Y, and Z, right? But there was subtext to that game that people wasn't paying attention if you didn't notice. No. If you notice, when she walked down the street, people would be grabbing at her. Yeah. Because they wanted to rape her.
Okay, that hard R, you gotta be careful with that.
Oh, sorry. Great.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot.
She was rapping. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Papa the rapper, let me stop. So they wanted to grape her. That's what that was. And it was subtle, but as you keep playing it, you start noticing it, like, why they keep doing that? And that's a prime example of what I'm talking about.
Okay. So wait, not to stray too far away from the topic, but do you feel like in terms of with promoting the games and everything like that in general, even like the liberations and everything, do you feel like streamers play an influence on gamers' options and choices?
Yeah, they do.
Oh yeah,
because they want to play with the hot. They want to play with the hot girl that's barely dressed. Oh my god, it bleeds into so many things. Because I was gonna say it like anime. Like that barely dressed, those things, those get hyped up more. Like, oh, you see this, and it's always some chick that gets in a fight and then her clothes magically get torn off. But that's no different than the video games where the girls are barely dressed. Those games are selling millions upon millions of copies and stuff like that, and it's getting hyped up. Yeah. And that's what guys are looking for. I'm not saying that there's other great games that sell millions and millions. You don't need to, be barely dressed to sell copies of the games.
Okay, so like besides Complex, but I want to put some input in this, or have any like input into this, I should say.
Believe me, I don't think you'd want mine.
About how streamers.
The streamers input, but because I do want to lead to the next question because Complex did bring up something twice that I wanted to ask a question about, but I kind of wanted to get your take on it a little quick. You can be brief.
Oh, I was just saying, I think streamers definitely are helping or hurting kind of what we think about with games nowadays. Like, of course, like the reactions are cool because like you're getting to see a piece of what someone feels, and it will draw in an audience for that reason.
Yeah.
But if they are not giving a wide view on a game and only kind of having a very narrow lens, that's also not going to help the game reach different audiences.
Okay. So, all right, Shadowfox, you want to you still going to hold out and not say anything, or?
Nah, if I don't say anything, I won't get a chance next time.
Okay, by all means, anybody still need to be heard.
I don't even know how to explain this thing.
Okay.
I can't take this anymore. I am hearing news about this kind of stuff every single freaking day.
Yeah.
Now, I don't even know if my input on this entire thing is even going to be even valid at all.
Okay. But still.
I can't. I just can't. I don't know how I'm even going to explain this.
Start from the beginning.
I literally just don't know.
Okay. So then maybe asking the next question would probably help.
What's the question?
Okay, so then the next question would be, can someone dislike a character design without being labeled toxic? That's the next question I was going to ask.
What was the question again?
Can someone dislike a character? Can someone disliking a character design be labeled? Can someone dislike a character design without being labeled toxic?
That's an opinion.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
It depends on how they portray it.
Yeah.
And with that, I totally agree with what he said, because that's exactly what I was gonna say. I don't believe everybody. I don't believe if you don't like the character design, your opinion is valid. But it depends on how far you take it. Because when you start, sometimes when you start overly explaining something, you start telling on yourself, and then it could become toxic and misogynistic.
But
then they get exposed for it.
Yeah.
And also, what's the reason why you dislike the character design? If you can't take an educated.
But see, then again, just to pick on that real quick, a lot of times what it is too is when you go on the internet and the thing with the comments, it could be just people being assholes and trolling to get attention.
Rage baiting.
Yes. So a lot of times they do that because a lot of the people that they did the whole thing with the God of War character and they put God of War laundry. A lot of it is just to bait people to comment on their shit about why the fuck are you doing that? And they sitting there rubbing their nips like the cable guys from the South Park episode, cause they get off on that.
Yeah, that's true. But then you also have people taking it very they using it as satire. But you have people telling on themselves in the comments that are being yeah, she's like this. They need to do it with somebody that look like some chick. They oh, do you really think that somebody that's like Kratos would go for somebody like her? That's telling in itself. That comment right there tells on itself, because you can't really. That's look at Hugh Jackman and look at his wife. You can't then say that because that's not reflective of everyday life. But granted, this is a video game; it's not real. But even if you look at everyday life and compare it, you can't really use it as an excuse. So what you're trying to say is that she's not as because we know she's a warrior. We know they fought, and we know she survived. So we know that she's up to par on a warrior level and a fighting level with Kratos. So you're saying that because you're talking about her looks.
Yeah.
And then now why is that then a topic of conversation?
Yeah.
And then that's where the misogyny and the toxicity starts coming out.
Okay. So then it goes into, besides the character design in general of the game, can someone defend the game without being labeled a shill?
What is a shill?
Yeah.
Shill, basically someone who is a kiss ass in terms of the game or the movie or the TV show. Somebody that's oh, this game is the best fucking game in the whole wide world. You should buy it.
You in Persona 4, got you.
Yeah, pretty much. You can call it.
Habib. No, because at the end of the day, it all depends on like how you respect people's opinions. Like that's your opinion. You love the game and you're like, yeah, you should totally buy it.
Well,
but
okay.
it's not like I'm gifting it and installing it on your PC and putting the controller in your hand and putting a pew pew to your head and maybe like, play it right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not all of that.
Okay, but also
I think I can give an example to that.
Okay.
All right. Now, okay, Dark King, do you recall the content creator Brian F?
I think so. Yes.
He plays a shit ton of Street Fighter 6, just like me.
Okay.
Now, everybody so far, everybody is saying that the game is boring. It started off great. But then, just because, we're not getting enough content and not enough this and not enough that, the game got boring. I get that. And the mechanics, there's one character that does a crap ton of damage, and because the developers are not doing it, they're not doing anything about it right away, they're just, and not the same, some people are saying that the game is bad. However, he still enjoys the game despite all that. And I'm kind of the same way. Does that label as shills?
No. No, okay. I would say a shill is more like you are a huge fan. Like I love Persona 4, right? I'm a huge fan of Persona 4. Persona 4 is my life, was my bloodline. But if anybody comes and say, hey, Persona 3 is better, I'm cursing them out. You're fucking, you're toxic, you're lying to yourself. You need to play Persona 4. Persona 4 is the best game in the world. I'm on my knees in front of Atlas, pleasing them until they give me. Yeah, but the thing about it is like you're basically dick riding the game, and then just shitting on anybody else that's trying to hate on the game. Like that's what it is. Or because a lot of shows, what they most happy is they're getting free gear from it too. So they want to continue getting the free stuff. So like hell yeah, I'm getting Persona 4 shit. Oh hell yeah, Persona 4 is the greatest game of all time. Please give me some money. Me, it's just out of pure love. But I'm not gonna if somebody falls asleep on a stream, I'm gonna bother them about it. But I'm not gonna ridicule them or throw them through the coal and say that you're a fucking loser for falling asleep on a stream when you're doing it. I'm gonna joke about it, but I'm not gonna on your knees and I contact as wild. God damn. But I'm not gonna sit there and in this put it run it through the cold. Like I make the joke about it, but it's not a factor that's gonna make me like just shit on her about it the entire time. That's Jersey. That's the whole thing with Jersey for. But I'm not going to But if you don't like Persona, you don't like Persona. That's fine. I'm not gonna hate you for it because people that this shields like that.
Well, have our opinions.
Like opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one.
Exactly.
So I'm not gonna fault you for it. Like that's the thing about me. Like I have my opinions, and then like I said, when you mentioned about the fact that is a reason why I feel that way with certain things with the characters, but it's just it's not a factor that's gonna make me I'm gonna disagree with the why you feel that way. If you don't like a character for that reason, okay, fine, that's fine. It's a bunch of difference, but yeah, if you like Persona, you like Persona. You don't like Persona, you don't like Persona. If you like Marvel, you like Marvel. If you don't like Marvel, I'm not gonna sit there and shit on your do upper deck in your toilet because you don't like Marvel. I don't know. But with that being said, I do, like I said, when it comes to streamers doesn't have a hand in what the game moves or not because word of mouth. You say cap, that's crazy. It's word of mouth. Word of mouth move games. Like Acquisition 33 moved copies because people talked about the game. Street Fighter got popular. Street Fighter 6 was good because people talked about the game. Fighting game community in general. If a fighting game is good and that people are playing, it's going to be played by everybody and talked about. If a fighting game sucks ass and the fighting game community don't like it, that game is dead. Invincible.
The FGC right now, I think that's another subject on its own.
Yeah, it is. Right
now, to summarize it, I don't even know the FGC anymore.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like I'm a part of it anymore. Back then, years ago, I felt like even though I wasn't really involved, seeing all these early attorneys and all that other kind of stuff, I felt like I was. Yeah. Right now, that feeling just left a long time ago.
Okay. So
I have the things that I like. I have the games that I enjoy.
Yeah.
And I have the games that, even though I stream them almost every single freaking day, I still enjoy it. I know I have other games to stream.
Yeah.
But good God, it just can't be helped, you know? Street Fighter 6 is a really top subject on that. And of course, I get it. Everybody has their opinions on it. Certain characters, certain mechanics. Am I fond of the drive system? Not really all that much. But I'd rather deal with that than the heat system.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the things that I like. And if anybody thinks otherwise of me, I don't give 2 cents and a quarter.
Yeah. And that's
I'm only censoring myself because I hear a kid in the background. And I want to be respectful.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Actually, the TV just is playing like some Roblox stuff. Let me cut that off.
Yeah. But okay. So,
look, this is freaking me in a nutshell. I mostly play fighting games for a freaking living. I'm a waifu, and I'm a fan service enthusiast. Fight me. Sue me.
Let's go.
That's just me. I just don't care.
Yeah.
That's right. Live your truth.
Yeah, there you go.
That's just me in a nutshell, man. I don't even give a crap how even old I am.
You know what it is? It's about more, and it's more younger people that's coming into fandoms and then and changing like the dynamic of the fandoms, especially like in gaming.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah. But when it comes to certain franchises, well,
okay. So
a certain blue hedgehog that I'm going to be celebrating its 35th anniversary.
Oh yeah, we getting there.
I know that the community has its toxic side and its cringe side.
Yeah.
But here's how I see it. And I don't even know if anybody even said this yet. When it comes to certain things that you like, when it comes to certain franchises that you like, there is no right way and there is no wrong way. At the end of the day, it's just your way. And I have my own ways.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So, all right. So I'm going to start pulling the train in the station now because it's like almost 3 hours, 30 minutes.
Hold on a second. There is one more stop. I didn't even get to freaking put my opinion on the new God of War.
Oh, go ahead. By all means.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry about that.
Now, truthfully speaking, I had just seen the trailer a few hours ago before this podcast even started.
Got it. There you go.
I only played the first God of War. I didn't play 2, I didn't play 3, and I didn't play the freaking other versions where Kratos started looking like Triple H neither.
What? Well, that's a fact.
It's because of the beard. It's because of the beard. I'm sorry.
It's all about the game. He ain't playing. No.
But I want to play it. I want to try it. Because I saw the gameplay trailer, and needless to say, I raised more than a freaking eyebrow when I saw the gameplay. I was like, "What the hell? This girl has a double jump? What the hell? She could do freaking air combos and shit? Dang!"
Yeah.
Kratos had a good find in this woman. I didn't even care, this might cause some other opinions and all. But in a way, I kind of really didn't care how she looked. I just cared about the gameplay itself. The story, I couldn't really understand because I don't know too much about the God of War lore like that, unfortunately.
It's fine.
But I was actually intrigued on the gameplay itself, and I was actually intrigued on the cutscenes itself too.
Yeah.
That is until I saw that walking freaking pile of freaking jello that can actually fight.
Yeah. And it's 2 characters.
Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah. It's 2 characters, though. The scarf and the cube.
The ribbons and the freaking jello cube.
Yeah.
Then I was like, I don't know how certain other people are going to feel about that. Hell, I don't even know how I even feel about that.
It doesn't matter. It don't matter.
But this actually pertains to the kind of gamer that I am. And this may sound a little cliche, but hell, I am a freaking sucker for a freaking female lead that can fucking fight.
Mhm.
Yes. I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you the same thing that Spike Siegel said. I love a woman who can kick my ass. So, yeah.
We know she definitely can.
So, yeah. Like I said, for me, I'm not. I mean, if it does well, it does well. But I'm not hating.
And I saw the likes and I saw the dislikes on it too. You know, I saw like 400K likes and 200K dislikes. But
there's a whole
kind of still maybe wish I had a PS5, but still, I'm satisfied with PC in general. You know.
Yeah.
If the game by some freaking miracle ever comes to PC, then cool. But if I had a PS5, I'd try it. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
I hope that it does well.
It's the simple things, you know?
Yeah. No, okay, so going back, like when I'm saying about the PC thing, but I think what Sony is going to do, and a side note, and I'm going to, is they're trying to do their own thing, like how Xbox does and has their own thing, where you download the PC installer, and then you can play PlayStation through that. I think they're trying to get away from Steam and Epic. I think that's what it is. That's the rumor. So we may get it. It's just Sony wants more of a hand in it. I guess the whole thing with the Helldivers issue.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can see why the creator of Stellar Blade left Sony. He wasn't all about that or the kind of BS anymore.
No. Yeah. So I don't know. But well, I mean, you know what? And the topics that we brought up with that is a whole podcast within itself. And then I do want to go back into that more, but like I said, it is getting kind of late here, and it's like almost like over 3 hours and 30 minutes now. And I know Chaz has to edit this, and I do not want to get choked out by the man who loves prequels. So I do want to start to and then mention about out of all the showcases that we talked about tonight.
Going back in general, that's not what he says.
Huh? Who do you think won the showcase season? A lot of people say Nintendo won. A lot of people said Sony won. A lot of people say Xbox won. Nobody says that the Summer Showcase won.
Oh boy, I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess it comes down to your own personal opinion. You know, like which games really got you frothing at the mouth, making you want to freaking say, "Here, take all my freaking money," and just. Yeah, I had a pack of quarters. I did that shit on purpose. I could freaking pick it up later on. Okay.
I knew they'd make a reappearance. I knew it. I'm done. That's it.
Man, this is a very powerful mic.
Yes.
But in the end, it all comes down to personal opinion.
Okay.
So I'll go with Sony.
I really thought he had like a soundboard and he pressed it and it was going on.
And Chaz is a master of sound effects right now.
Okay. So
I guess I just made things even more authentic by actually having actual change.
You know what? I'm going to be controversial here. I'm going to say I feel like I had more fun watching the Xbox showcase than I did the others. Like the second closest was the Sony Game Fest, but I didn't feel like PlayStation brought it, to me, in my opinion. And I think Nintendo was on nostalgia and like remaking and remastering bait. So that's my take. What about your coin?
I'm gonna go with the Summer Fest. That's gonna be my pick for the showcase. There was a lot more games that I would play and really interested in that showcase. I mean, the other ones were okay, but I enjoyed that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I also want to give it to Sony.
Sony? Okay.
But I do believe out of the 3 console ones, I do believe Xbox had more games that they did show. So
yeah. Like I was excited for more Xbox. Yeah. Like I said, Summer Game Fest was fun, but like I said, in terms of like Sony didn't. They really. I got talked about games, but in my opinion, there wasn't enough. Like besides Wolverine, and like in my opinion, there was something that really said, "Hey, buddy, come buy a PlayStation." Like that matter of fact, yeah, that would be a question I can ask, and like you could lead up to the next topic. After Coin and just do you feel like any of these, like the major console ones, do you feel like any of them would make you want to buy a console for that. Like buy an Xbox, buy a PS5, buy a Switch 2. I know Switch 2 we already said no. But what about a PlayStation or an Xbox? Does any of the games make you feel like you need to have an Xbox or
buy a Steam box?
Even though there were some games from the freaking Sony one that actually caught my interest. No.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Once I went PC, I never went back.
Yeah, that's gonna happen to me. That's happened to me too.
Sadly, same.
Once you go PC, you are living that easy life.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
God, that was corny as fuck. I apologize.
Yeah, it was, but we accept you for who you are.
Okay, we like corny jokes over here.
Yeah, we do. And I'm not even joking. We accept you with that one because I'm gonna say some corny jokes too. But when it comes to nothing made me want to run and buy a PS5. Like I haven't wanted to get a PS5 since the whole scapular thing and that bullshit. So I'm glad.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, if I keep seeing like, hey, day one on Game Pass, it's just like, oh, so get a computer, you say? It's like get a computer because most of the games are going to be available on PC. So it's just like, oh, so except for like the Nintendo ones.
I mean, no, Nintendo's going to be on there soon.
Yeah, because I was actually looking to post up the Steam Kingdom Hearts 4, but they don't have anything up yet.
Oh, not yet. Yeah. No. Like the Jurassic Park, it will find a way. Nature will find a way. Trust me, Nintendo's going to be on PC very soon. Like they're holding out, but eventually everybody goes to PC. But lastly, and this is going to be the shortest thing, and we're going to end it here. H1 got 3 choices here. We need your definite out of all the games we talked about tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to sit there and think about this. You get one for each topic. I need your safe pick, your risky pick, and your sleeper pick. So risky pick, game that you think that it may, it's interesting, but it has something to prove. Your safe pick, it's going to be a guaranteed hit, and your sleeper hit, people think you're going to overlook it. One of each.
Wolverine for safe, and Luke got to go for that risky pick.
Okay.
What was the other one?
We talked about.
You said safe and the one you
sleeper pick. Like you're gonna overlook it, but it's gonna be a fire ass game. Oh, currently all the games we talked about tonight.
That's a tough one. I'm gonna have to go back to it.
I think I have a sleeper pick.
I got my picks.
All right. Okay,
shit, I forgot about Godzilla Destroy All Monsters. I'll make that my choice because they're bringing that game back.
Yes. Okay, sleeper hit. Okay. All right. What about you, Quan?
All right, my safe pick is definitely God of War Laufey.
Okay.
My risky pick is 1666 Amsterdam.
Okay.
Okay.
And my sleeper pick is The Wolf Among Us 2.
It's a Telltale game.
Yeah, that's why I think people are gonna.
I'm not gonna overlook it because I'm already gonna buy it.
Well, yeah, I feel like the mass amount of people would try to overlook it if you don't know how great a Telltale series can be.
Okay. What about you, Complex?
So my safe pick is Resident Evil Veronica.
Facts.
My risky pick is going to be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4.
Are we going back?
And then the one I think that they're going to sleep on might be Wulong 2.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. My safe pick, and I'm not going to try to follow everybody. My safe pick definitely is going to be Persona 4 Revival. That's going to definitely sell, especially with the RPGs, and it's going to sell. A risky pick, I did see one just now. That is Crossfire. And Crossfire, we didn't talk much about it, and I didn't bring it up. That's a game that's made by people that was ex Naughty Dog and CD Projekt Red, the people who made The Witcher. And it's a third person shooter that's connected with aliens.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. So that's the risky one. It has something to prove because it's from a new studio.
Oh, I thought you had the board game too.
I wish. That's if there's not a song in that game that does that, I'm gonna be pissed. Sleeper pick. I don't know. Okay, sleeper pick. It's sad enough to say the sleeper pick is going to be Dawn of the Dawnwalker and Blood of the Dawnwalker.
What?
So Blood of the Dawnwalker, real quick. It's a game that's about a vampire whose family gets murdered by another. I mean, basically a guy that gets turned into a vampire. Watch his family get murdered by this vampire, and he has to go and try to, get some revenge. The cool thing about that game is you have to control your bloodlust, because if you don't, you can be talking to somebody in a cutscene, and the hunger will take over, and you can attack the person mid cutscene.
Oh, that's actually crazy.
That's fire. So if you just go be reckless, and you get, hey guy, do you want to go across the street?
I'm sorry.
I am so down for that.
I'm sorry.
I
don't know why that got me, man.
Yeah, I'm immediately going for that because I would just go to the major cutscenes, and it could be somebody, one of your friends that you need the information for, and you can attack them and kill them. And once they die, that's it. That's when I remember. But they didn't really bring that up as of late. That was when they did the trailer like last year. But those are my three.
So King Kirk said his safe pick is Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. He said his risky pick.
That should be the risky pick.
He said his risky pick is Gears of War E-Day, and his sleeper pick is Spyro.
Okay,
that's
Spyro with the sleeper. Yeah,
that's fair.
Right there.
That's fair. Okay. Hey, no wait. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, yo, that's what women with the game. Because I'm like the fact that you can do that. Oh hell yeah, I'm buying that. But all right. So with that being said, we're gonna move on to the final topic. What do we want from gaming moving forward? What is something that we want since all the game? See the game plot, the game fest, and everything like that. What do we want more? We can be very brief on this one. Like, what do you want to see more of? What do you see less of?
Shut up.
I want to see less of the microtransactions.
Hell yeah.
I want to see more of playability, longevity of the game. That will be going to the live service that you spoke about earlier. And when you consistently update in a game where it feels brand new, and I know that at times that's taxing on them, but like if you want to keep people engaged and stuff like that, every 3 months, every 2 months, do an update. Do something that makes the game fresh and get everybody to get their money's worth, because these games are like costing $70. The regular like computer games aren't, but like console games, they're like $70. And I think Nintendo is more.
Yeah,
so
90.
It's just that these games aren't, cheap. So
okay.
We're living in a time where these video game developers could cram like way more content into these games without the need of microtransactions. They're just being so goddamn lazy about it. So kind of similar to what she had said, because remember the days back then where, oh my goodness, where you really had to work for your extra freaking content instead of just spending this all the freaking time. I can understand in-game currency, oh yeah, but oh man, good lord. I know that ultimately we're hoping for a little too much here.
We are.
Or maybe that is just the old veteran gamer self-talking. But yeah, kind of along the lines of her. Just, I want my money's worth. Damn it! If I'm gonna pay $70 for something, I want it to be worth 70. Right?
Yeah.
Make us want to pay that much.
Yeah.
Instead of making us pay more for extra stuff that we may or may not want nor need.
Yeah.
But I know that we hope for too much.
We do.
They are definitely turning gaming into a luxury. And it's too much of a luxury.
Yeah. It's getting,
And
it's
that's
too
what
corporate.
is taking the magic of gaming away.
Yeah. It's too corporate now.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. Okay, so with complex coin, anything?
Maybe it's a little selfish, but I appreciate when a game has like the streamer option to it. And I realize that more games are starting to kind of come out with that. I think that moving forward, if more companies want people to stream their games so that they can build an audience and things like that, then like having good like options for streamers, like put it in a streamer mode and like to actually have like good music that could work well. I think that's something that like I'm looking forward to that being more of a standard in gaming.
Okay, okay, all right. What about you, complex?
I already gave
Oh,
my opinion. I was the first one.
I'm sorry.
This proves you wasn't paying attention, but I digress.
He said microtransactions.
She did say that. You know what? She wasn't saying nothing. I'm sorry. No. What happened?
Watch your mouth.
I didn't say anything. You know what had good music? Sonic Ghost. All right. Good night, Derpy. He's getting sleepy. Actually, Sonic 6 didn't have bad music. The main theme song wasn't that bad. Yeah. When it comes to I do want more creative, more originality. Everything's so safe. And that's it's like they don't take chances anymore. If it's a take chance, it's an indie game. Major companies don't take chances because a lot of games are too damn expensive. But like a lot of times when companies do decide to make smaller branches and come out with a game, a lot of times when games come out, they're really good. Like I Am Setsuna was a game made by Tokyo RPG Project, which was like a small branch in Square Enix, and they made up to 3 games, and all 3 of them so far it wasn't bad.
The problem with that is they think it's what they think is bad. We think it's great.
Yeah,
they just don't really want to listen to us like that no more.
No,
if they think that it's not making this, then they're not going to bother, unfortunately.
And as much as I enjoy, I'll play Fortnite, as much as I do hate the fact that every game is trying to be like Fortnite. Every free-to-play is trying to be like Fortnite. They're trying to get that same lightning in a bottle. You can't be that way. It's different. You can't.
They can try, but
they're definitely going to try. They damn sure going to try.
Yeah, they're going to try, but they will not succeed.
But yeah. All right. But
we are so sorry. This really, really got us reeling here.
So
we haven't had these in a while.
All right, so this is my final time hosting, so it's been a pleasure.
Really gonna make it good after all this time.
He gonna choke me in one hand, HR gonna choke me in the other, and be like, argh! Creativity is dying, and that's the sad part. But not every shout out to the Knicks, but not every game needs to be 100 hours. Not every game needs a battle pass, a roadmap, or a store. Yeah, not everything needs that, but
not all AI forces are trash.
Some of them are great. This is the GamePlaza Podcast.
I need something. Man. That shit is hilarious.
Yeah, I need something with soul.
GamePlaza Podcast.
Tabaka for making that, but I'm gonna have to slowly start closing it. Closing comments here. I'm gonna start by saying, does anybody want to promote anything before we head off to the Grand Pastures, putting a closing on this episode 52 here?
Just one thing. The High Master Emerald will be mine. That's all.
Okay.
That's all.
Any Corn Complex, anything you want to promote?
Well, I will be streaming this week Road to Empress 2.
Woo! I'm sorry.
I streamed 1. It is, oh my God, what is that category they put that in on Steam? FMV?
FMV, yeah.
It's an FMV game. So it's basically like a drama, but it's interactive and you make choices and it leads you to different conclusions, whether you got to drink soup and die or you go and take a different path. But it's about palace life. And I thoroughly enjoy it. It's interesting and it's definitely fun when your friends are watching with you and giving you their input.
It's like Night Trap.
So it will be happening later on this week. So look out for that on my Twitch page, Kurosaki Complex.
No, Shadowfox. I'm telling you this from a personal experience here. I was talking shit about the game. I'm like, oh fuck, she playing this game for? First time she played the first one, I literally watched her play for 2 hours, invested on the choices that she made. That's how hooked I was in the game. And then she played part 2 last night, and I got mad she turned it off because I wanted to know more. That's how good it was. Like it is the drama, and like every choice you make that one wrong choice, and next thing you know, she just sitting there chilling, and then get pushed in a well, and then the asshole that killed her is wipe his hands and just throw the evidence right in the same well as she was in. Like useless. And it's like, yeah, it's crazy, but really good series. But Corn, you want to promote anything? Any like RPs or going back to Last of Us or finally finishing Persona 4 or something?
Yeah, 4. We're gonna wait on that. We'll see eventually what the cards hold. But on my channel, I've been playing some Rebirth and having a great time with that. We're also playing some GTA 5, some RP. So if you're interested in that, I want to see more of that, come on over to my channel.
Yeah, I know you have a TikTok video of you falling to Rihanna song.
I do. Shine bright like a diamond.
Yes. Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Shine bright like a diamond, baby.
Oh my God. I just want to say for me, I need to get back into Last of Us. I know I did say I was going to do a co-op game with Chaz on Tuesday, a horror co-op game, and yes. And I'm also going to be doing. I'm going to see about getting that Backrooms game, and also the Chameleon game where you basically it's hide and seek, and you actually paint your character up in the back. And I have to finish Last of Us before Nova can stop harassing me about it, because every stream is like, "Oh, you finished playing the series?" So yeah, that's what I'm doing on my channel. So yes, definitely check us out. We do individual streams, and we we're back with the GamePlaza podcast. I was hoping for a cameo, but I think he was busy. But shout out to our the owner of the channel, Chaz London. I know he actually uploaded a video as we were doing this podcast for with Forza. And I know he's doing upload videos, and I know we're doing reviews as well, and that's coming out soon. So check those out. But this felt good, and it does feel good to be back on doing the podcast. It actually inspired me to do the game on the Nameless podcast again. But yeah, episode 52. Now I can say the joke. 51 episodes more than Strawberry Fields, but we're gonna leave that alone. We talked about many things and many topics. See, I fucked up by saying topics. Everybody's watching, everybody's listening. Drop your own hop in the comments of what games that you like during the Game Plaza, during the Summer Game Fest and or the PlayStation or the Xbox. Drop what console you rep. We'll see who's going on here. Also shout out to the Puerto Rican Day Parade as well. That was today.
Para mi gente, boy.
Yes, but I want to give a special, big shout out to Shadowfox 140, Kurosaki Complex, and the one that's from Jersey.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Kornonacobb.
And I am
joining me. Please support the whole crew. Like I mentioned, we need to get the promotions and the shout outs to each channel. Yes, it's gonna be on fire on Thursday too when they do the Knicks parade.
Have fun.
Yeah, but if you watch this on YouTube, please like and share and subscribe. We will be back more with episode 53 very soon. And this is, we'll be back. Remember, play what you love, talk your trash, and actually play the game before you write an obituary for it. Have a great night. Their King Forever is out. Game Plaza, we are done. Knicks at 5. Knicks in 5. Later.
Champions!
Yeah.